When today was too much, let tonight carry you gently. You have carried enough for one day. You have thought enough. You have worried enough. You have tried to understand enough. You have held together things that felt as though they might fall apart. You have answered what you could answer, finished what you could finish, and faced what you had enough strength to face. There may still be things waiting for you. There may still be questions without answers. There may still be feelings that have not found the right words. But none of that means you have to keep carrying the whole day into the night. Tonight is not asking you to solve your life. Tonight is not asking you to prove how strong you are. Tonight is not another test you have to pass before you are allowed to rest. This moment can be different from the hours that came before it. The day may have been loud, demanding, confusing, disappointing, or simply too full. Perhaps many small things kept gathering until they became one heavy feeling. Perhaps nothing terrible happened, yet your mind and body still reached their limit. Sometimes there is not one clear reason for being tired. Sometimes it is the weight of many little moments, the message that needed an answer, the task that took longer than expected, the pressure to stay calm, the effort of being kind when you were already empty, the quiet worry that followed you from 1 hour to the next. You may have spent the whole day giving pieces of yourself away. You gave attention, you gave time, you gave patience, you gave answers, you gave understanding, you gave energy to things that mattered and to things that did not deserve so much of you. Now the day is ending, and you may feel as though there is nothing left inside. But being empty at the end of a hard day does not mean there is something wrong with you. It means you are human. It means your mind has limits. Your body has limits. Your heart has limits. These limits are not signs of failure. They are messages. They are gentle ways life tells you that you cannot pour forever without being filled again. You cannot hold every problem without putting some of them down. You cannot remain open to every need, every sound, every demand, and every worry without needing quiet. You are allowed to need quiet. You are allowed to feel tired. You are allowed to stop before everything is finished. There is a part of you that may resist these words. That part may say, "But I still need to think about what happened." It may say, "I cannot relax until I know what tomorrow will bring." It may say, "I should have done more. I should have handled it better. I should not feel this affected by one day." That voice may sound responsible, but it is not always telling you the truth. You do not become more responsible by keeping yourself in pain after the useful part of thinking is over. You do not become stronger by refusing to admit that something was hard. You do not become wiser by punishing yourself for being tired. You can care deeply and still rest. You can take your life seriously and still put it down for the night. You can be a loving, thoughtful, responsible person without using worry as proof that you care. This day may have left you with unfinished feelings. Perhaps you are disappointed in yourself. Perhaps you wish you had spoken differently. Perhaps you said too much or not enough. Perhaps someone's words are still moving through your mind. Perhaps you feel ignored, misunderstood, unseen, or taken for granted. Perhaps you are carrying guilt for something you could not control. Perhaps you are afraid that one difficult moment has changed everything. The mind often becomes most active when the world becomes quiet. During the day, there are tasks, sounds, movement, and people. At night, there is space. And into that space, every thought seems to return. The mind brings back the conversation. It changes the words. It imagines what could happen next. It searches for a perfect answer that did not appear in the real moment. But the mind is not always searching because an answer exists. Sometimes it is searching because it is afraid to stop. It believes that if it keeps thinking, it can prevent pain. It believes that if it reviews everything carefully enough, it can become safe. It believes that if it remains alert, tomorrow will not surprise you. Your mind is not trying to hurt you. It is trying to protect you in the only way it knows. But protection can become pressure. Thinking can become a circle. Care can become fear wearing a serious face. Tonight, you can thank the mind for trying to help without following it into every dark corner. You can say, "I hear you. I know you are worried, but we do not have to solve this now." You can say, "This matters, but I am allowed to return to it with a rested mind." You can say, "The answer does not need to come from exhaustion." There are answers that only become clear when you stop chasing them. There are feelings that soften when you stop forcing them to leave. There are problems that look different after sleep. There are words you will understand more clearly when your body is no longer in a state of stress. Rest is not moving away from the answer. Sometimes rest is how you move closer to it. The tired mind sees fewer choices. It makes one problem feel like the whole future. It turns one mistake into a complete judgment of who you are. It takes one difficult conversation and begins writing the ending of the story. It looks at one closed door and says there will never be another one. This is why you do not need to trust every thought that comes at the end of a heavy day. A tired thought is not always a true thought. A frightened thought is not always a warning. A painful feeling is not always a picture of the future. You can let tonight create some space between you and the story your tired mind is telling. You are not the mistake you made today. You are not the message you did not receive. You are not the task that remains unfinished. You are not the mood that came over you. You are not the way someone chose to speak to you. You are not the moment when you lost patience, became quiet, felt afraid, or wanted to disappear from everything for a while. You are still here beneath all of that. You are still worthy of rest beneath all of that. You are still deserving of kindness beneath all of that. Nothing that happened today has taken away your right to be gentle with yourself tonight. Perhaps you learn to believe that rest must be earned. Perhaps you believe you can only stop when everything is complete, everyone is happy, the room is clean, the work is done, the future is certain, and your emotions are under control. But life rarely gives you a perfect moment to rest. There will almost always be something unfinished. There will almost always be another task, another question, another reason to wait. If you only allow rest after life becomes completely settled, your body may spend years waiting for permission. Give yourself that permission now. Not because every problem has disappeared, not because today went exactly as you hoped, not because you handled every moment perfectly. Give yourself permission because you are tired, and tiredness is enough. You do not need a better reason. You do not need to explain why this day felt heavy. The weight you feel is real, even if nobody else can see it. You may have smiled while carrying it. You may have answered calmly while carrying it. You may have continued working, cooking, cleaning, driving, helping, speaking, and moving through the day while something inside you was asking for relief. Now you can listen to that quiet request. You can stop asking the tired part of you to stay strong for a little longer. You can stop saying after one more thing. You can stop pushing rest farther away as though it is a reward that belongs only to, the perfect version of you. Rest belongs to the human version of you, the version who tried, the version who made mistakes, the version who became overwhelmed, the version who did not know what to say, the version who needed more support than was available, the version who reached the end of the day with a heart that still wanted to be held. You can hold that version with love now. You do not have to fix yourself before you comfort yourself. Comfort is not the final step after healing. Comfort is often where healing begins. Think of how different the night feels when you stop treating yourself like a problem. The room is the same. The day has not changed. The unfinished things still exist, but the voice inside you becomes softer. Instead of saying, "Why are you still upset?" it says, "That was a lot for you." Instead of saying, "You should be over this," it says, "You need time." Instead of saying, "You failed again," it says, "You did what you could with what you had." These words do not make you weak. They return your strength to you. Harshness may create movement for a moment, but kindness creates safety, And when you feel safe within yourself, you can see more clearly. You can choose more wisely. You can meet tomorrow without dragging the full weight of today behind you. Tonight, your only work is to stop adding more pain to the pain that is already there. If you are disappointed, do not add self-hate. If you are worried, do not add shame. If you are lonely, do not tell yourself that you will always be alone. If you are tired, do not call yourself lazy. If you made a mistake, do not turn one action into your whole identity. If someone hurt you, do not hurt yourself again by repeating their voice inside your own mind. Let the night be the place where the second wound ends. The first wound may be what happened. The second wound is what you keep saying to yourself because it happened. You may not be able to change the first wound tonight, but you can stop creating the second one. You can say, I am hurt, and I will not attack myself for hurting. You can say, I am tired, and I will not punish myself for needing rest. You can say, I do not know what happens next, and I can still be kind to myself now. This is how the night begins to carry you. Not by removing the whole weight at once, but by helping you stop picking it up again. You do not have to replay the day in order to understand it. You do not have to hold every detail in your mind so it will not be forgotten. You do not have to keep your body tense so life knows that something mattered. What happened mattered. What you felt mattered. What you needed mattered. And now your rest matters too. The day is not asking you to continue it forever. It is ending. The hours are moving forward without your effort. The world is becoming quieter. The light is changing. The tasks that felt urgent are beginning to lose their hold. You do not have to force the day to end. You only have to stop following it. Let the unanswered message remain unanswered for now. Let the difficult conversation become silent for now. Let the choice wait if it can wait. Let the future remain unknown for a few hours. You are not abandoning your life. You are returning to yourself. There is a difference. Abandoning your life would mean refusing to care. Returning to yourself means caring enough to stop meeting every problem with an empty mind and an exhausted body. Tomorrow deserves a rested version of you more than tonight needs another hour of worry. Your heart deserves a little room. Your body deserves a clear message that it is no longer required to fight. Your mind deserves to know that it does not have to remain on watch every moment. You can begin with one simple truth. I do not have to solve everything tonight. Let that sentence be larger than the questions. I do not have to solve everything tonight. You can still care tomorrow. You can still take action tomorrow. You can still speak, decide, repair, plan, or begin again tomorrow. Tonight, you can rest without losing your place in your own life. Nothing important disappears because you stop thinking about it for a while. What belongs to your attention can return when you have more strength. The mind may still bring the day back. That is okay. You do not have to become angry with it. Each time the thought returns, you can meet it gently. Yes, I remember. Yes, that was difficult. Yes, I will give this attention when I am ready. And now I am resting. This is not a battle against thought. It is a new relationship with thought. You are no longer allowing every thought to lead you somewhere. You can hear it without walking into it. You can feel it without building a home around it. You can notice it without letting it become the whole night. Tonight can be wider than the thing that hurt. It can hold your tiredness, your fear, your hope, your silence, and your need for peace without asking you to choose only one. You can be worried and still rest. You can be sad and still allow comfort. You can be unsure and still soften. You can be disappointed and still believe that tomorrow may hold something different. You do not need to wait until you feel completely peaceful before you begin resting. Peace can meet you slowly. It may first arrive as one less harsh thought, then one softer breath, then one moment when the mind stops replaying, then a small feeling that perhaps you do not have to carry everything alone. That is enough for now. You are not trying to create the perfect night. You are simply ending the habit of turning one difficult day into a punishment that lasts until morning. The day can end here. You can release the need to understand everything before sleep. You can release the need to be certain before rest. You can release the belief that tiredness must always be pushed through. The night does not need your performance. It does not need your answers. It does not need you to be impressive, productive, cheerful, or strong. It only asks you to arrive as you are. Tired, human, unfinished, still worthy of gentleness. This day is ending and you are allowed to release it, not all at once, not perfectly, just enough to let tonight begin. Before the day can loosen its hold, it helps to notice where it is still living inside you. Not so you can study every feeling, not so you can turn the night into another long task, not so you can search for everything that is wrong. You are simply noticing what your body and mind have been carrying without being heard. The body often holds the truth before the mind knows how to speak it. The shoulders rise, the jaw tightens, the hands stay restless, the chest feels full, the stomach feels unsettled. The head keeps moving from one thought to another. You may be lying down, yet some part of you is still standing in the middle of the day, ready to answer, defend, explain, fix, or prepare. Your body may not know that the difficult moment has passed. It may still be responding to the pressure of a conversation that ended hours ago. It may still be holding the fear of an answer that never came. It may still be waiting for the next demand. It may still believe it has to stay ready because the mind has not yet told it that this moment is different. This is why you can feel tired and unable to rest at the same time. The body wants to stop, but the mind keeps sending messages that there is still danger, still work, still something unresolved that must be watched. You do not need to judge this. Your body is not working against you. It is responding to the signals it received. Perhaps the day moved too quickly for you to feel what was happening while it happened. You kept going because you had to. You pushed the feeling aside. You said, "I will deal with this later." You answered the next question, moved to the next task, helped with the next problem, and kept yourself together until there was finally space. Now the space has arrived, and the feelings are arriving with it. This does not mean you are becoming worse. It means the part of you that stayed quiet finally believes there may be room to speak. Let it speak without turning its voice into a new emergency. Perhaps what remains is anger, not loud anger. Maybe a quiet anger that sits deep in the chest because you gave more than you wanted to give. Maybe you agreed when you wanted to say no. Maybe your needs were pushed aside. Maybe you were expected to understand everyone while nobody stopped to understand you. Anger can be a sign that something inside you knows you deserved better. You do not have to act on every angry thought. You do not have to send the message or make the decision tonight. But you can listen to what the anger is trying to protect. It may be saying, "I am tired of being ignored." It may be saying, "That did not feel right." It may be saying, "I need a boundary." It may be saying, "I cannot continue jiving in this way." When anger is heard with respect, it does not need to shout as loudly. Perhaps what remains is sadness, a sadness you did not expect, a sadness that came from disappointment, distance, loss, or the simple feeling that life has been heavier than you hoped. You may not have a clear reason for it. You may only know that something in you feels low, and you are tired of pretending it does not. Sadness does not always need an answer. Sometimes it needs company. It needs you to stop turning away from yourself. It needs to hear, "You do not have to hide from me." You may have learned to move quickly away from sadness because you were afraid it would take over. But feelings often become more frightening when they are treated like enemies. Sadness can move when it is allowed to be felt without becoming a judgment about the future. You can be sad tonight without deciding that life will always feel this way. You can miss something without believing you will never feel whole again. You can feel disappointed without calling yourself a disappointment. Perhaps what remains is fear. Fear about money. Fear about health. Fear about a relationship. Fear about work. Fear about a decision. Fear that you are running out of time. Fear that nothing will change. Fear that something will. Fear often makes the future feel very close. It brings tomorrow into the room, and asks you to live every possible problem before any of them have happened. It says, think about this now. Then it says, think about it again. Then it says, you have not found the answer, so keep thinking. But fear rarely becomes satisfied by more fear. The mind may believe it is preparing, but the body experiences the imagined future as though it is already here. The heart beats faster, the muscles tighten. Sleep becomes difficult. Energy is spent on a moment that has not arrived. You can notice fear without treating it as a prediction. You can say, this is fear speaking. It is not the future speaking. You can say, I understand why I am worried, but I do not know what tomorrow will bring. You can say, I will meet what is real when it is real. This brings the mind back from the imagined future into the present moment. Right now, you are not required to live tomorrow. Right now, you are only here. Perhaps what remains is guilt. You keep returning to what you said, what you did not do, or what you wish you had understood sooner. The mind takes the moment and places it in front of you again and again. It tells you that replaying it is necessary because you must learn from it. Learning is useful. Punishment is not. There is a point where reflection ends and self-attack begins. Reflection asks, what can I understand from this? Self-attack says, this proves something is wrong with me. Reflection makes room for growth. Self-attack keeps you trapped in the same painful moment. You are allowed to learn without humiliating yourself. You are allowed to admit that you wish you had acted differently. You are allowed to repair what can be repaired. You are also allowed to stop repeating the same mistake inside your mind after you already understand it. You do not become a better person by refusing yourself mercy. Mercy is not avoiding responsibility. Mercy is what makes real responsibility possible, because it allows you to look honestly without being destroyed by shame. Perhaps what remains is embarrassment. You wish you had been quieter, braver, calmer, clearer, less emotional, more prepared. You imagine how you appeared. You wonder what others thought. You remember your own face, your own words, your own uncertainty. But one uncomfortable moment does not remove your dignity. You are allowed to be imperfect in front of others. You are allowed to have moments when you do not know what to do. You are allowed to be seen while still learning. The mind may try to keep you safe by making sure you never forget the moment. It believes that if it embarrasses you enough, you will never repeat it. But fear is not the only teacher. Kindness can teach you too. You can say, that was uncomfortable, but I survived it. You can say, I am allowed to be human in public. You can say, one moment does not define how I am seen or who I am. Perhaps what remains is loneliness, the kind that becomes louder at night. During the day, you may stay busy enough to avoid it, but when things become quiet, you feel the empty space around you. You think about who did not call, who did not understand, who left, or who is no longer close in the way you hoped. Loneliness can make the mind tell cruel stories. It says, nobody cares. It says, you will always feel this way. It says, you are too much, or not enough. Do not let loneliness become your inner voice. Feeling alone in one moment does not mean you are unloved. Feeling unseen by one person does not mean you are invisible. Not receiving the love you wanted from one place does not mean love has disappeared from your life. Tonight, you can become less alone by refusing to abandon yourself. You can remain present with your own heart. You can say, I know this hurts. You can say, I am staying with you. You can say, you do not have to pretend with me. There is a deep kind of healing in becoming a safe place for your own feelings. Not the only place. You still deserve support, connection, and care from others. But when you stop turning against yourself, the night becomes less empty. You are no longer waiting outside your own heart for permission to enter. Perhaps what remains is disappointment. You expected more from this day, more progress, more kindness, more understanding, more energy, more proof that things are changing. You may feel as though you failed to become the person you promised yourself you would be. But change is not measured only by perfect days. Sometimes change is noticing that you are tired before you completely break down. Sometimes change is feeling the urge to attack yourself and choosing not to. Sometimes change is knowing that the old way is hurting you even before you know the new way. Sometimes change is reaching the end of a difficult day and deciding that you will not continue the pain all night. Do not ignore these small changes. The mind often looks for a dramatic sign and misses the quiet ways you are already becoming different. You may not have handled everything perfectly, but perhaps you recovered more quickly. Perhaps you spoke one honest sentence. Perhaps you left one argument alone. Perhaps you recognized one limit. Perhaps you noticed one thought that no longer feels true. Perhaps you did not chase the answer in the same way. These things matter. The first change is often not that life becomes easy. The first change is that you begin to meet difficulty in a different way. So ask yourself gently, what part of today am I still carrying? Do not demand an answer. Let the question move slowly through you. Maybe you are carrying a face, a sentence, a silence, a fear, a task, a regret, an expectation, a moment when you felt too much and had nowhere to place it. Whatever rises, do not make it larger by judging it. Simply notice. There you are. That is what is still with me. I understand why my body has not settled. Awareness creates space. Before awareness, the feeling is everywhere. It seems to be the whole truth. It shapes every thought and every part of the body. But when you name it gently, something changes. You are no longer only afraid. You are noticing fear. You are no longer only angry. You are noticing anger. You are no longer only overwhelmed. You are noticing that the day left too much inside you. This small distance matters. It reminds you that a feeling is happening within you, but it is not the whole of you. You are the one who can notice. You are the one who can listen. You are the one who can choose how to respond. You do not have to remove the feeling in order to create peace. You only have to stop giving the feeling full control of the night. Ask another gentle question. What thought keeps returning because it wants kindness? Maybe the thought is, I was not good enough. What kindness would answer that? Perhaps you were under pressure and you did what you could. Maybe the thought is, I should have known better. What kindness would answer that? Perhaps you know more now than you knew in that moment. Maybe the thought is, nothing is changing. What kindness would answer that? Perhaps change may be happening in ways that are still quiet. Maybe the thought is, I cannot handle tomorrow. What kindness would answer that? Perhaps you do not have to handle tomorrow tonight. The goal is not to replace every difficult thought with a perfect one. The goal is to stop leaving pain unanswered. When a harsh thought rises, you can offer another voice, a steady voice, a patient voice, a voice that does not lie, but also does not wound. You can say, yes, this is difficult, and I am still here. You can say, yes, I am uncertain, and I can take one step when the time comes. You can say, yes, I am affected by what happened, and I do not have to be ashamed of that. The words you offer yourself tonight become part of what the body learns. The body learns from repetition. If it repeatedly hears danger, criticism, hurry, and pressure, it remains ready to fight. If it begins to hear safety, patience, permission, and care, it slowly learns another way. This learning may not happen in one night. That is okay. You are not trying to force your body into calm. You are teaching it that calm is allowed. Ask, what feeling have I been trying to push away? Sometimes the feeling you resist becomes the feeling that remains. You say, I should not be angry. The anger stays. You say, I should not be sad. The sadness becomes heavier. You say, I should not be afraid. The fear becomes mixed with shame. Try another way. I am angry, and I can listen without acting from it. I am sad, and I can let sadness be here without deciding my future. I am afraid, and I can remind my body that this moment is safe enough. The feeling may still be present, but the fight around it begins to soften. You do not have to love every feeling. You only have to stop treating your own inner life as an enemy. There is another question that may open something important. What am I afraid will happen if I stop thinking about this tonight? Perhaps you are afraid you will lose control. Perhaps you are afraid you will miss something. Perhaps you are afraid the other person will move on while you are resting. Perhaps you are afraid that if you stop worrying, you are being careless. Perhaps you are afraid that peace will make you unprepared, but rest does not erase wisdom. Sleep does not make you less aware. Putting down the thought does not mean you agree with what happened. It means you are choosing not to let the problem take more from you than it already has. You can return to the issue later with more strength. You can write the important thought down if you need to remember it. You can make a simple promise to yourself that you will give it attention tomorrow. You can trust that what truly matters will still matter after rest. You do not need to keep the problem alive in your body so you will not forget it. Your body is not a storage place for unfinished pain. It is your home. Tonight, you can treat it like a home. You can notice the shoulders and say, you do not have to carry the whole day now. You can notice the jaw and say, you do not have to hold back every word. You can notice the chest and say, you are allowed to have more space. You can notice the stomach and say, you do not have to prepare for a future that is not here. You do not need to force anything to relax. Even the words are enough to begin creating a new message. My body is asking for kindness, not more pressure. Let that become true in the way you speak to yourself. Your body may be tired from more than physical work. It may be tired from staying alert, from reading the room, from trying not to upset anyone, from holding back tears, from pretending not to care, from caring too much, from carrying a future that has not arrived and a past that cannot be changed. No wonder you are tired. No wonder the night feels heavy. No wonder your mind needs time to become quiet. This is not weakness. This is the natural result of carrying too much for too long. You can notice this without becoming lost inside it. You can say, I see what this day left in me. You can say, I do not have to remove it all tonight. You can say, I am willing to meet it with love instead of pressure. The day may still be present in you, but it no longer has to be ignored or feared. Once a feeling is seen, it does not have to work as hard to get your attention. Once the body is heard, it may begin to release what it was holding. Once the mind knows you are listening, it may not need to repeat the same thought as loudly. You are not trying to become empty. You are becoming honest. You are admitting that today had an effect on you. You are giving that effect a place to be felt without letting it become the whole night. You can notice, you can listen, you can remain, and little by little, what the day left inside you can begin to move. There comes a point when the day is over, but the mind keeps living inside it. The work may have stopped, yet the thinking continues. The conversation may have ended, yet the answers keep changing. The message may have been sent, yet the mind keeps checking for a reply. The body may be in bed, but the inner world is still at work, still explaining, still preparing, still trying to fix what cannot be fixed in this hour. This is how the night becomes an extension of the day. The clock changes, the room becomes quiet. but the pressure remains the same. You may stop moving, but you do not stop carrying. You may close the door, but you keep the whole world open inside your mind. You may tell yourself that you are resting while your thoughts are still running from one worry to the next. The body feels the difference. Lying down is not always the same as resting. Silence is not always the same as peace. Stopping the task is not always the same as releasing the task. Tonight, you can begin to see where the day is continuing through habit rather than need. Perhaps you keep reaching for the phone because you are waiting for something that will make you feel better. A reply, a sign, a change, a piece of information that will finally let the body relax. But the phone often gives the mind another reason to remain awake. One message becomes another thought. One answer creates another question. One look becomes more looking. The mind says, maybe the next thing will settle me. But the next thing often moves you farther away from yourself. You are not weak for wanting relief. You are simply looking for relief in a place that may not be able to give it tonight. Perhaps the mind believes that one more check will create certainty, but certainty is not always available. Sometimes the loving choice is not to keep searching. It is to admit, I do not know yet. There is peace in that honesty. Not knowing is uncomfortable, but constant checking does not always make you know more. It only keeps the nervous system waiting. You can let the message wait. You can let the answer come when it comes. You can let your worth remain untouched by someone else's timing. Perhaps you continue the day by replaying conversations. You hear the words again. You imagine a better response. You create a new version where you say exactly what needed to be said. You imagine how it might have changed the result. This may feel useful, but often it keeps you emotionally inside a moment that is already over. You cannot enter the old moment and speak again. You can learn from it. You can decide what you want to say next time. You can choose whether another conversation is needed, but you do not have to keep reopening the same moment tonight. The mind may want a perfect ending. Life does not always give one. Sometimes a conversation ends without understanding. Sometimes you do not receive the apology. Sometimes you do not get the chance to explain. Sometimes the other person remains committed to seeing things in a way you cannot change. You can lose many nights trying to create understanding inside your own head for someone who is not in the room. You can explain yourself perfectly in your imagination and still wake with the same tired heart. At some point, peace begins when you stop holding the imaginary conversation. You can say, I know what I meant. You can say, I know what I felt. You can say, I can decide later whether this needs another real conversation. Then you can let the silent one end. Perhaps you continue the day by reviewing your unfinished tasks. The list appears in the mind as soon as the room becomes still. The thing you forgot, the thing you delayed. the thing that still needs attention, the promise you made, the work that is waiting. The mind may use the list to frighten you into action, even when the body has no more energy. It says you are falling behind. It says you should have done more. It says tomorrow will be worse because you stopped. But exhaustion does not make work disappear. It only makes the work feel heavier. A tired mind often turns a normal task into a threat. Tomorrow's list may look different after rest. The first step may become clearer. The work may take less time than fear is telling you. You do not need to complete tomorrow during the night. You do not need to mentally perform every task before you do it. You can let tomorrow contain tomorrow. The day asks. Ed for action. The night asks for release. This is not a small difference. During the day, there are times to decide, respond, speak, move, plan, and complete. At night, the body needs another message. It needs to know that action is no longer required for this moment. If you keep sending the message, "We are not finished," the body remains ready. If you keep saying, "Something may go wrong," the body remains alert. If you keep reviewing every detail, the body believes the situation is still happening. The body does not always understand the difference between a problem in front of you and a problem being replayed in your mind. The thought can tighten the muscles as though the moment is real again. The memory can change the breath. The imagined future can make the heart respond now. This is why the night needs a clear ending. Not a perfect ending, a clear one. A moment when you tell yourself, "I am no longer working on this tonight." You may need to say it more than once. The mind may return. You can answer again, "I am no longer working on this tonight." This sentence is a boundary, not against life, not against responsibility. It is a boundary against endless inner work. The world may celebrate constant effort. It may praise the person who never stops, never says no, never appears tired, and remains available at every hour. But your body cannot live forever as though every moment is a demand. There must be a time when you are not producing, a time when you are not answering, a time when you are not fixing, a time when you are not trying to be useful. Your value does not disappear when you stop being useful. You are still worthy when nobody needs anything from you. You are still enough when the list remains unfinished. You are still a good person when you do not answer immediately. You are still responsible when you choose to wait until your mind is clearer. The belief that everything must be handled now can come from fear. Fear says delay is dangerous. Fear says rest will make you lose control. Fear says if you stop, something will fall apart. But look at what happens when you never stop. Your patience becomes thin. Your thoughts become darker. your body becomes tense. Small problems begin to feel impossible. You become less able to give the care you are trying so hard to keep giving. Rest is not the thing that makes life fall apart. Lack of rest often makes it harder to hold life wisely. You may believe that staying awake with a problem proves how much it matters. But pain does not need proof. A relationship can matter without being replayed all night. Your future can matter without being feared all night. Your work can matter without taking every part of your mind. Your family can matter without you carrying every need alone. You can love deeply and still stop for the night. You can care and release at the same time. This is a new skill for many people. You may have learned that caring means holding on, that responsibility means worry, that love means seat, constant availability, that safety means staying alert, that success means always doing more. But these beliefs can turn the night into another place where you must perform. What if the night is not here for performance? What if it is here for return? Return to your breath. Return to your body. Return to the quiet part of you that existed before the day asked for so much. Return to the truth that your life is larger than one difficult day. You can handle reality without becoming trapped inside it. If there is a bill, you can deal with the bill when action is possible. If there is a health concern, you can seek care when the right step is available. If there is a conversation that needs to happen, you can prepare for it without rehearsing it until morning. If there is work waiting, you can begin when you have the strength to do it. Ignoring responsibility and refusing endless worry are not the same thing. You are not being careless when you stop giving fear the whole night. You are protecting the part of you that will need to meet life again tomorrow. The mind may argue, but what if I forget? You can trust yourself more than fear allows. You can write down the task. You can leave a simple note. You can make a clear plan for the next day. Then you can stop carrying it in your body. A written reminder can hold the task. Your muscles do not need to hold it. Your heart does not need to hold it. Your whole night does not need to hold it. Perhaps you continue the day through self-judgment. You lie down and begin reviewing yourself as though you are a problem that must be corrected before sleep. You think about what you ate, what you spent, what you failed to complete, how you looked, what you said, how much time you wasted, or how far you still have to go. The night becomes a courtroom. You are the judge, the witness, and the person being blamed. No wonder the body cannot rest. You would not expect peace in a room where someone is being attacked. Yet many people create that room inside themselves every night. You can leave the courtroom. You can decide that tonight is not the time to put your whole life on trial. You can look at your choices honestly without becoming cruel. Maybe something needs to change. Maybe a habit is no longer helping you. Maybe you avoided something important. Maybe you need to make a different choice tomorrow. You can know this without using the truth as a weapon. The truth can guide. Cruelty only wounds. You can say, I see what needs my attention, and I will meet it with a clearer mind. You can say, I do not need to hate myself into becoming better. You can say, change grows more safely in kindness. The day can end even if you are still learning. The day can end even if you made mistakes. The day can end even if someone is disappointed. The day can end even if you are disappointed in yourself. You do not need to become perfect before the night is allowed to begin. There may also be an old belief that if you stop worrying, you are giving up. But worry and hope are not the same. Worry keeps asking, what if everything goes wrong? Hope asks, what if I can meet what comes? Worry demands complete control. Hope allows the next step to be enough. Worry tries to live the whole future now. Hope trusts that strength can arrive with the moment that needs it. You do not need to know how you will handle every possible thing. You only need to trust that you can respond to what is real when it becomes real. You have already lived through moments you once believed you could not handle. You found words when you needed them. You made choices with limited information. You learned after mistakes. You kept moving through days that felt too heavy. Your strength did not always arrive early. Sometimes it arrived when the moment came. It may happen that way again. You do not have to stay awake to make sure your future strength appears. You can let it meet you tomorrow. The mind may try to bring you back to the old question, what if? You can answer with another question, what is true right now? Right now the day is ending. Right now you are allowed to stop. Right now not every answer is required. Right now your body needs a softer message. Right now, you can choose not to turn fear into the last voice of the day. The old habit may say, keep thinking. The new choice says, I have thought enough for tonight. The old habit may say, keep checking. The new choice says, what is meant to reach me can wait until I am ready. The old habit may say, keep reviewing. The new choice says, I can learn without reliving. The old habit may say, stay alert. The new choice says, this moment does not require a fight. This is how the night becomes different. Not because the thoughts never return, because you stop obeying every one of them. You may still remember the day, but you do not have to enter it again. You may still feel the emotion, but you do not have to feed it with another painful story. You may still have unfinished work, but you do not have to finish it inside your head. You may still be uncertain. But uncertainty does not have to become fear for the whole night. I will not give this difficult day my entire night. Let that be a promise to yourself, not a demand, not another rule to perform perfectly. A promise. The day already received your effort. It received your attention, your energy, your patience, and your thought. The night can receive another part of you, the part that needs comfort, the part that needs silence, the part that needs to be more than what it completed, the part that wants to feel held without explaining why. Worry is not proof that you care. Exhaustion is not proof that you tried hard enough. Losing yourself is not proof of love. Staying awake is not proof of responsibility. You are allowed to care in a way that includes yourself. You are allowed to protect tomorrow's energy. You are allowed to close the inner door even when the outer situation remains open. Some things will still be waiting in the morning. Let them wait. If they truly belong to you, you will meet them. If they do not belong to you, the night may help you see that more clearly. You do not have to decide which is which right now. For now, the day can end even if everything is not complete. The words can stop. The review can stop. The checking can stop. The argument inside your mind can stop for a while. You may not feel fully ready to release it. Release does not always begin with readiness. Sometimes it begins with a simple decision. I am no longer continuing this day inside my mind. You may have to choose it again in a few minutes. That does not mean the choice failed. Each return teaches the mind a new path. Each gentle refusal to keep worrying tells the body that the night is different. Each moment of not reopening the problem gives your nervous system a new experience. The day is over. The danger is not happening in this room. The conversation is not happening now. The task is not being demanded now. The future is not asking to be lived now. You can be here. You can let the night become its own space instead of a shadow of everything that came before it. The day asked you to move outward. The night is inviting you inward, not into more thinking, into a quieter kind of listening. A listening that asks why it has been so difficult to stop. A listening that begins to understand why your mind learned to stay alert. A listening that does not blame the old habit, but becomes ready to see what it has been trying to protect. The part of you that keeps thinking long after the day is over is not trying to ruin your night. It is trying to protect you. It may not know how to protect you gently yet. It may only know how to stay alert. It may only know how to search for danger, review what happened, prepare for what might happen, and keep every unfinished problem close enough to watch. This part of you may believe that rest is risky. It may believe that if you relax, something important will be missed. It may believe that if you stop thinking about the problem will grow larger. It may believe that if you stop preparing for pain, pain will take you by surprise. So it keeps working, even when you are tired, even when no useful answer is coming, even when the same thoughts have already moved through your mind many times. It keeps working because somewhere along the way, staying ready began to feel safer than letting go. Perhaps there were times when you had to be ready, times when the mood around you could change quickly, times when you had to notice every small change in a voice, a face, or a room. Times when being relaxed meant being caught unprepared. Times when you learned that peace could disappear without warning. Your body may still remember those times, even when your present life is different. The body remembers through habits. It remembers through tight muscles. It remembers through the need to check. It remembers through the feeling that something is wrong even when the room is quiet. It remembers through the voice that says, "Do not rest yet. Stay ready." This does not mean you are broken. It means your nervous system learned to help you survive. It learned that control created a little safety. It learned that thinking ahead reduced some fear. It learned that reading every situation carefully might prevent rejection, anger, disappointment, or pain. That learning may have helped you once. You do not need to hate it. You do not need to feel ashamed because your mind still returns to it. You can understand why it began. You can look at the tired part of yourself and say, "I see what you have been trying to do. You have been trying to make sure nothing falls apart. You have been trying to protect your heart from another painful surprise. You have been trying to find the right words before anyone can misunderstand you. You have been trying to be useful enough, calm enough, kind enough, careful enough, and prepared enough that nothing painful can reach you. That is a heavy job. No part of you should have had to carry it alone for so long. Perhaps you learned that being useful made you safer, so you became the one who answered, the one who helped, the one who stayed calm, the one who fixed what others did not want to face, the one who kept going even when your own energy was gone. You may have received love, praise, or peace when you were helpful. You may have received silence, anger, or disappointment when you needed something. So you began to believe that your needs should wait. You learned to give before asking. You learned to understand before being understood. You learned to make space for everyone else while taking up as little space as possible. Then the night arrived, and all the needs you pushed aside began to rise. No wonder your mind becomes loud when everything else becomes quiet. It may be the only time the unheard parts of you believe they have a chance to speak. They bring you the tiredness you ignored. They bring you the anger you swallowed. They bring you the tears you did not have time to feel. They bring you the fear you covered with work, kindness, or responsibility. The night is not creating these feelings. It is revealing what had no room during the day. You do not have to be afraid of what rises. These feelings are not signs that you are losing control. They may be signs that you have been controlling too much for too long. Perhaps you learned to stay busy because stillness brought feelings you did not want to meet. As long as you were moving, you did not have to feel the empty place. As long as you were solving, you did not have to notice your own fear. As long as someone needed you, you did not have to ask what you needed. As long as the day remained full, you could keep moving past the pain. Then night came and removed the noise. The silence did not feel peaceful. It felt dangerous because there was nothing left to stand between you and yourself. You may have filled that silence with more noise, more checking, more watching, more reading, more thinking. Not because you were careless with your rest, but because you were trying to avoid what the quiet might uncover. You can understand that now without judging it. You can say, I was trying to protect myself from feelings that once felt too large. You can say, I did not know another way to feel safe. You can say, I used what was available to me. Understanding is not the same as remaining stuck. Compassion does not mean the pattern has to continue. It means you release the pattern without turning against the part of you that created it. You do not heal fear by frightening yourself for being afraid. You do not heal control by trying to control your healing perfectly. You do not heal exhaustion by demanding that you relax correctly. You begin by bringing kindness to the reason the old habit exists. Maybe constant thinking gave you the feeling that you were doing something. When a situation was outside your control, thinking felt like action. When someone's feelings were unclear, analyzing felt safer than waiting. When the future was uncertain, planning every outcome created the feeling that uncertainty could be reduced. You were trying to build safety with thought, but thought can only take you so far. There comes a point where more thinking does not create more safety. It only creates more tiredness. The mind keeps walking the same road, hoping the next round will produce the answer. It rarely does. It usually brings you back to the beginning, only more exhausted than before. You can appreciate what thought was trying to do while admitting that it is no longer helping. You can say, "Thank you for trying to protect me." Then you can add, "You do not have to keep doing this tonight." Both parts matter. The gratitude softens the fight. The boundary creates change. Perhaps you learned to replay conversations because being misunderstood hurt deeply. Maybe you learned that your words could be used against you. Maybe you had to explain yourself many times before anyone listened. Maybe you were often blamed for things you did not mean. Now the mind believes every conversation must be perfect. It reviews every word. It searches for what could have been clearer. It imagines what the other person might be thinking. It prepares a defense for a conversation that may never happen. You were trying to protect yourself from being misunderstood again. You were trying to make sure your truth was safe. But your truth does not become less true because someone does not understand it. You do not need to keep explaining yourself inside your own head. You know what you meant. You know what you felt. You can choose later whether more words are needed. Tonight, Your truth can rest without being defended. Perhaps you learned that mistakes were dangerous. Maybe mistakes brought shame. Maybe mistakes were followed by anger, withdrawal, or harsh words. Maybe you felt that being wrong made you less worthy of love. So now every small mistake becomes a serious threat. You do not simply think, "I made a mistake." The mind says, "Something is wrong with me." It says, "I should have known." It says, "I must never do that again." It keeps the memory alive because it believes pain will stop you from repeating it. You were trying to protect yourself from rejection. You were trying to become perfect enough to remain safe. But perfection does not create the kind of safety your heart needs. It creates pressure. Real safety is knowing that a mistake does not remove your worth. Real safety is knowing that you can learn without being humiliated. Real safety is knowing that you can repair what needs repair and still remain someone deserving of love. You can tell the part of you that fears mistakes. We do not have to hurt ourselves in order to grow. You can say, "I can learn from today without punishing myself tonight." You can say, "My worth is not decided by one moment." Perhaps you learn to expect the worst because hope once felt dangerous. Maybe you trusted something and were disappointed. Maybe you opened your heart and were hurt. Maybe you believed life was moving one way, only to discover that it was not. So you began to prepare for pain before anything had happened. You told yourself it was better not to expect too much. You imagined what could go wrong so you would not be surprised. You stayed emotionally ready for loss because it seemed safer than being hopeful. You were trying to protect your heart. You were trying to make pain smaller by feeling it early. But feeling tomorrow's pain tonight does not make tomorrow easier. It only causes the body to suffer before there is anything real to meet. You do not need to be afraid of hope. Hope is not a promise that nothing difficult will happen. Hope is trust that difficulty will not be the whole story. Hope is trust that you can meet reality when reality arrives. Hope allows you to live the moment you actually have instead of living every feared future at once. The part of you that expects the worst deserves tenderness. It has spent a long time guarding the door. It may be tired too. You can tell it, "You have worked hard to protect me." You can tell it, "You do not have to watch every possible future tonight." You can tell it, "If something real needs my attention, I will meet it when it comes." Perhaps you learned to say yes because no felt unsafe. Maybe no brought anger. Maybe no made others pull away. Maybe no was treated as selfish. So you learned to keep peace by giving more than you had. You agreed while something inside you became smaller. You carried tasks, feelings, duties, and needs that did not fully belong to you. During the day, you managed. At night, resentment, tiredness, and guilt appeared together. You were trying to protect connection. You were trying not to lose love. You were trying not to disappoint anyone. That is understandable. The need for love can make people carry very heavy things. But love that requires you to disappear is not the kind of love your spirit needs. You are allowed to protect your energy. You are allowed to say no without spending the whole night feeling guilty. You are allowed to be kind without being endlessly available. You are allowed to love others without leaving yourself behind. The guilt may not disappear immediately. It may rise whenever you begin choosing yourself. That does not mean the choice is wrong. It may only mean the new choice is unfamiliar. The old part says, if we stop giving, we may be left. The wiser part can answer, I do not have to abandon myself to keep connection. This is how safety changes. At first, safety may have meant pleasing everyone. Now, safety can mean being honest with yourself. At first, safety may have meant staying alert. Now, safety can mean trusting that you will respond when needed. At first, safety may have meant controlling every detail. Now, safety can mean knowing that not everything is yours to control. At first, safety may have meant hiding your feelings. Now, safety can mean allowing those feelings to exist without shame. You are learning a new kind of protection, not protection through tension, protection through self-trust, not protection through endless thinking, protection through knowing you can meet the next real step, not protection through perfection, protection through compassion, not protection through self-abandonment, protection through a loving boundary. This new way may feel strange. The body may not believe it immediately. It has practiced the old way for a long time. You would not expect a path walked for years to disappear after one new choice. But every time you meet fear with kindness instead of pressure, a new path begins. Every time you notice the urge to overthink and choose to stop for the night, a new path begins. Every time you forgive yourself for being tired, a new path begins. Every time you allow something to remain unfinished without calling yourself a failure, a new path begins. The change may be quiet. The mind may still be loud. But something important is happening. You are no longer agreeing that fear is the only way to protect yourself. You are beginning to show your body another truth. This moment can be safe even when the future is unknown. You can rest even when life is unfinished. You can be loved even when someone is disappointed. You can be worthy even after a mistake. You can feel deeply without being taken over by the feeling. You can let the night be gentle without becoming careless. What helped you survive the day does not have to follow you into the night. The strength that carried you through pressure can now become the strength that lets you stop. The awareness that watched for danger can now watch for signs of safety. The care you gave to everyone else can now turn toward you. The mind that planned, solved, and prepared can now receive the message that nothing more is being asked from it in this moment. You did enough with the strength you had. That does not mean everything was perfect. It means you were a human being moving through a human day. Some moments were handled well. Some moments were not. Some feelings surprised you. Some tasks were left unfinished. Some words may still need to be spoken. None of this means you failed the day. You lived it. You moved through it. You reached this moment. That is enough for tonight. You do not have to use new wisdom to attack the version of yourself who did not have it earlier. It is easy to look back and say, I should have seen it. You see it now because the moment has already taught you something. You know more now because you passed through the experience. Do not take the lesson and turn it into a weapon. Let the lesson become care. Let it say, next time I may choose differently. Let it say, now I know what this feeling means. Let it say, I am learning where my limits are. Let it say, I am beginning to understand what I need. This is growth without cruelty. This is truth without punishment. This is how the old protector begins to trust the new you. It sees that you are listening. It sees that you are no longer ignoring every warning. It sees that you can set a boundary, ask for support, and make a different choice. It sees that it does not have to shout all night to get your attention. You can tell the tired part of yourself, I will not abandon you. You can say, if something hurts, I will listen. You can say, if a choice feels wrong, I will notice. You can say, if I need support, I will let myself seek it. You can say, you do not have to keep me awake to make sure I care. The body may soften slowly when it hears this. It may still hold tension. It may still return to old thoughts. Let that be okay. Trust is built through repeated kindness. You are not asking the body to forget everything tonight. You are showing it that the present can be different. The room can be quiet without danger. The phone can be still without rejection. The task can wait without disaster. The future can remain unknown without becoming a threat. Your feelings can rise without being pushed away. You can be tired without being weak. You can stop without losing control of your life. I understand why I held on so tightly. This thought creates room for compassion. I understand why I tried to control the answer. I understand why I stayed awake. I understand why I replayed the words. I understand why I wanted certainty. I understand why rest felt difficult. You do not have to remain trapped in a pattern to understand it. You can thank the old fear for trying to protect you. Then you can tell it that a new kind of safety is being learned. A safety that does not require constant worry. A safety that does not ask you to carry every possible problem. A safety built from knowing that you can trust yourself. You can trust yourself to take action when action is needed. You can trust yourself to ask for help. P when the weight is too much. You can trust yourself to leave what repeatedly harms you. You can trust yourself to learn after mistakes. You can trust yourself to return after difficult moments. You can trust yourself enough to rest. Tonight, you are not pushing the old protector away. You are letting it sit down. You are telling it that its work is done for now. You are saying, "Thank you for bringing me this far." You are saying, "I am ready to learn another way." You are saying, "I do not need to stay tense to remain safe." You are saying, "I am allowed to be carried by something gentler than fear." Letting go may not feel peaceful at first. This can be surprising. You may believe that the moment you decide to release the day, the whole body should become calm. You may expect every thought to become quiet and every feeling to soften immediately. But if holding on has been your usual way of feeling safe, releasing control may feel uncomfortable. The mind may become louder for a while. It may say, "Are you sure we can stop?" It may bring back the task. It may bring back the conversation. It may remind you of the answer you still do not have. This does not mean you are doing something wrong. It may only mean you are stepping away from what is familiar. Familiar does not always feel good. It simply feels known. Worry may be painful, but the mind understands it. Control may be exhausting, but the mind has practiced it. Replaying the day may hurt, but it gives the feeling that you are still doing something. Rest can feel uncertain because it asks you to stop doing. It asks you to trust. It asks you to allow a question to remain unanswered. It asks you to let tomorrow stay outside the room. This is a different kind of strength. There is discomfort in letting go. There is also discomfort in holding everything. You cannot avoid every difficult feeling, but you can choose which difficulty leads you toward healing and which one keeps you inside the same pain. There is discomfort in not checking for the message. There is also discomfort in checking again and finding that nothing has changed. There is discomfort in letting someone misunderstand you for the night. There is also discomfort in spending hours trying to explain yourself to an empty room. There is discomfort in leaving a task unfinished. There is also discomfort in pushing your body beyond its limit and waking with even less energy. There is discomfort in accepting that you do not know what will happen. There is also discomfort in imagining every possible outcome until fear feels like reality. There is discomfort in resting while life remains uncertain. There is also discomfort in demanding certainty from a tired mind that cannot give it. Both roads ask something from you. One road asks you to keep feeding fear. The other asks you to trust the quiet. One road feels familiar but leaves you exhausted. The other feels unfamiliar but begins to return you to yourself. One row keeps the body in the day. The other allows the night to become a place of healing. Which discomfort leads you toward peace? That is the question tonight. Not, how do I avoid every uncomfortable feeling? Not, how do I make the whole night perfect? Ask, which choice is kinder to the life I want to live? Perhaps not checking the phone feels uncomfortable. The hand wants to reach. The mind says, maybe something changed. You feel the pull because checking has become a way to seek relief. But if every check creates more tension, then the familiar action is not bringing peace. The discomfort of not checking may last for a while. It may rise and fall. It may ask you to sit with uncertainty. But this discomfort is leading somewhere new. It is teaching you that your peace does not have to depend on a screen. It is teaching you that another person's timing does not control your worth. It is teaching your body that waiting does not have to become panic. The discomfort of not checking may lead to freedom. The discomfort of checking all night only leads to another tired morning. Perhaps leaving the conversation alone feels uncomfortable. You want the final word. You want to be understood. You want to correct the meaning. You want to know that the connection is safe. But if the conversation has reached a place where nothing useful can happen tonight, continuing it inside your mind will not bring the understanding you want. The discomfort of silence may feel sharp. Silence leaves room for questions. It does not give the heart instant comfort, but it may protect you from saying words from exhaustion. It may protect the relationship from more confusion. It may give you time to understand what you truly need to say. The silence that feels difficult tonight may create a clearer voice tomorrow. The endless inner argument only keeps you tied to the same moment. Choose the difficulty that gives you back your clarity. Perhaps rest feels uncomfortable because you believe you have not done enough. You lie down, but guilt remains awake. It reminds you of what is waiting. It compares your effort with an impossible standard. It says, you have no right to stop yet. But the work will not become lighter because you deny your limits. The body may continue for a while. It may obey pressure, but eventually it will ask for what you refuse to give. Rest now may feel uncomfortable because it challenges the belief that your worth comes from what you finish. Yet that discomfort leads toward a healthier life. It teaches you that you are still valuable when you stop. It teaches you that your body is not a machine. It teaches you that caring for your energy is part of responsibility. Pushing past every limit may feel familiar, but it does not lead to peace. Choose the discomfort that helps you remember your worth is not measured by exhaustion. Perhaps you are waiting for an answer about the future. You want to know whether the situation will improve. You want to know whether the door will open. You want to know whether the person will stay. You want to know whether the decision you made was right. Not knowing feels uncomfortable. It creates space the mind tries to fill with fear. So the mind begins predicting. It builds one possible future after another. It prepares for loss. It searches for signs. It tries to make uncertainty smaller by turning it into a negative answer. Fear often prefers a painful answer to no answer, because at least the painful answer feels certain. But imagined certainty is not real safety. You do not know what tomorrow will bring. That truth may feel difficult. It is also freeing. If you do not know, then fear does not know either. The worst outcome is not a fact. The painful story is not already written. There is still room for change. There is still room for information you do not have. There is still room for support, timing, healing, and a new view. The discomfort of not knowing keeps the future open. The discomfort of choosing the worst answer closes the future before it arrives. Choose the discomfort that leaves room for possibility. Perhaps you feel guilty for resting while someone else is struggling. You think, how can I feel peaceful when this is happening? You may believe that carrying another person's pain proves your love. You may believe that if you relax, you are leaving them alone. But your suffering does not automatically reduce their suffering. Your exhaustion does not become help simply because it comes from care. You can love someone and still sleep. You can care about a problem and still allow your body to recover. You can hold love in your heart without holding fear in every muscle. The discomfort of resting may bring guilt. But guilt is not always proof that you are doing something wrong. Sometimes guilt appears because you are doing something new. You are including yourself in the care you give. You are learning that love does not require you to disappear. The familiar difficulty is carrying everyone. The healing difficulty is allowing yourself to be human too. Choose the difficulty that lets love include you. Perhaps the hardest thing is accepting that you cannot change what happened today. You may be able to repair something later. You may be able to speak, learn, apologize, or choose again. But you cannot return to the exact moment and become someone different inside it. The mind may keep trying. It plays the moment again. It gives you new words. It imagines a better choice. It hopes that enough regret will change the past. This is a painful form of control. It is painful because it asks you to do something no human being can do. You cannot rewrite the day tonight. The discomfort of accepting this may feel like sadness. It may feel like grief. It may feel like the loss of the perfect version you wish had happened. But acceptance is where energy begins to return. When you stop trying to change the past, you can use what it taught you. You can take the lesson without spending the whole night inside the mistake. You can say, I cannot change that moment, but I can meet the next one differently. This discomfort leads to growth. The discomfort of endless regret only keeps the old moment alive. Choose the difficulty that gives the future a chance. Rest may feel like surrender, and perhaps that is exactly what it is. Not surrender as defeat, surrender as the end of a fight that cannot be won tonight. You are not giving up on your life. You are giving up the demand that your tired mind must solve it now. You are not giving up on the relationship. You are giving up the attempt to control every feeling inside it. You are not giving up on the goal. You are giving up the belief that one night of worry will bring it closer. You are not giving up your power. You are changing how you use it. Power is not only the ability to push. Power is also the ability to stop. Power is the ability to say, this thought does not get the whole night. Power is the ability to let an answer wait. Power is the ability to feel uncertain without immediately running toward fear. Power is the ability to care for your body before it reaches complete exhaustion. The old version of strength may have looked like carrying everything. The new version may look like putting something down. That may feel uncomfortable because people may be used to you carrying it. The mind may be used to you carrying it. You may be used to measuring your goodness by how much weight you accept. But carrying more does not always make you more loving. Sometimes it only makes you less present. Sometimes it leaves you with no energy for joy. Sometimes it teaches others that your limits do not matter. Sometimes it teaches your own heart that everyone else comes first. The discomfort of putting something down may include guilt, uncertainty, or fear of disappointing someone. The discomfort of continuing to carry it may include resentment, tiredness, and the slow loss of yourself. Which discomfort leads toward peace? The answer may not always feel easy, but somewhere inside you often know. You know which habit keeps you trapped. You know which choice would feel more honest. You know what the body has been asking for. You know what has become too heavy. You do not have to change everything tonight. You only need to stop calling the familiar pain your only choice. There is another way. It may begin with allowing one question to remain unanswered. It may begin with not sending the message. It may begin with turning away from the screen. It may begin with forgiving yourself for not finishing. It may begin with admitting that you are too tired to make a wise decision right now. It may begin with saying, tomorrow can hold this. These are small choices, but they carry a new direction. Each one says, I am no longer choosing the pain that keeps me awake. Each one says, I am willing to experience the temporary discomfort of change. Each one says, peace is worth learning. Rest is a practice when you have spent years in alertness. Trust is a practice when you have spent years expecting disappointment. Receiving is a practice when you have spent years carrying everything alone. At first, practice feels unnatural. The mind may return to the old way because it knows that path. Do not turn that return into failure. Each time you notice, you can choose again. You can say, "There is the old road." Then you can turn gently toward the new one. You do not need to become angry because fear returned. Fear returns to what it knows. You are teaching it something different. You are teaching it that the night can remain quiet without something going wrong. You are teaching it that an unanswered message does not decide your worth. You are teaching it that an unfinished task can wait. You are teaching it that uncertainty can exist beside safety. You are teaching it that you can rest without losing everything. This teaching takes kindness. Pressure will only make the body feel that another danger has arrived. So do not force peace. Choose it gently. Choose it even while discomfort is present. You can feel restless and still decide not to check. You can feel uncertain and still decide not to predict. You can feel guilty and still decide to rest. You can feel sad and still decide not to punish yourself. You can feel fear and still choose the path that leads away from fear. Courage is not the absence of discomfort. Courage is choosing what serves your healing while discomfort is still speaking. Tonight, courage may be quiet. It may look like putting the day down. It may look like allowing silence. It may look like admitting, "I cannot solve this now." It may look like trusting that rest will not make the problem worse. It may look like giving your body what your mind keeps saying it has not earned. You do not need complete certainty before you rest. Certainty may not come tonight. Rest can come first. Peace may not arrive all at once. Willingness can come first. You can be willing to let the night be different. You can be willing to stop feeding the same thought. You can be willing to leave one part of the day unfinished. You can be willing to trust that tomorrow may show you something you cannot see now. You can be willing to believe that not every burden belongs in your hands. This willingness is enough. You do not have to feel ready. You do not have to feel calm. You do not have to feel completely safe. You only have to stop choosing the habit that keeps deepening the pain. There is a moment when holding on hurts more than opening the hand. There is a moment when trying to control the answer becomes more painful than accepting that you do not know. There is a moment when continuing to think becomes more tiring than allowing silence. Perhaps this is that moment. Perhaps your body has already been telling you. Perhaps the tiredness is not asking you to try harder. Perhaps it is asking you to choose differently. You do not need to carry pain all night to prove that the day mattered. The day mattered because you lived it. The feeling mattered because you felt it. The problem matters because it affects you. None of this requires you to keep suffering after the useful action is over. You can honor what happened and still release it. You can admit that something hurt and still choose comfort. You can care about tomorrow and still let tonight be gentle. The old difficulty says, keep holding on. The healing difficulty says, trust yourself enough to put it down. The old difficulty says, stay alert. The healing difficulty says, let this moment be safe. The old difficulty says, find the answer now. The healing difficulty says, allow the answer to come from a clearer place. The old difficulty says, prove that you care by suffering. The healing difficulty says, care for yourself too. I choose the discomfort that leads me toward peace. Let that choice be quiet. Let it be imperfect. Let it be made again if needed. You are not promising that fear will never return. You are promising that fear will no longer make every decision. You are not promising that tonight will be completely calm. You are choosing not to make it harder with more pressure. You are not promising that tomorrow will be easy. You are allowing yourself to meet tomorrow with more of your strength still inside you. It is safe to leave some answers for another day. The answer may become clearer. The feeling may become lighter. The choice may become simpler. The situation may change. And even if the outer world remains the same, you may meet it from a steadier place. Tonight, you can choose the road that begins returning you to yourself. You have carried enough by yourself tonight. There are things that only your hands can do. There are choices that only you can make. There are words that only you can speak. But not everything belongs in your control. Not every answer must be found by your mind. Not every outcome must be held together by your effort. Not every part of the future needs to be watched. There are movements in life that continue without your force. The night arrives without you pulling it closer. The body keeps breathing without your command. The heart continues its work while your mind is somewhere else. The world moves through darkness toward morning without needing you to guide it. There is a quiet order around you that has never depended on your worry. You may forget this when you are afraid. Fear makes everything feel personal. It says, if you do not hold this, it will fall. It says, if you do not control the timing, nothing will happen. It says, if you are not watching, you will lose your chance. But life has never moved only through your effort. There have been moments when help arrived through a path you did not plan. There have been answers that became clear after you stopped searching. There have been changes that began before you could see them. There have been endings that protected space for something you did not yet understand. There have been mornings that found you after nights you thought would never end. Life has carried you before. Perhaps not in the exact way you wanted. Perhaps not without pain. Perhaps not on the timing you would have chosen. But you are here. Some force within life kept moving. Some wisdom within your body kept working. Some part of you continued even when the conscious mind felt tired. Tonight, you can become willing to trust that you do not have to do everything alone. You do not have to understand the whole universe. You do not have to create a perfect spiritual feeling. You only have to open a little to the possibility that support exists beyond your control. Support may be present in the body's ability to rest. Support may be present in the silence that asks nothing from you. Support may be present in the fact that this day has an ending. Support may be present in the wisdom that becomes clearer after sleep. Support may be present in a door that has not opened yet because the right moment has not arrived. Support may be present in the strength that will meet you tomorrow. You do not have to see every form of support to be held by it. A seed does not watch the soil working around it. It does not understand the process. It does not pull itself open through fear. It rests inside the darkness while life does quiet work. You are allowed to enter that kind of trust tonight. Not the trust that promises every desire will arrive exactly as expected. A softer trust. The trust that says, I do not have to know everything now. The trust that says, this moment can carry me into the next. The trust that says, life can move while I rest. Surrender is not giving up. It is giving back what was never fully yours to control. It is placing tomorrow outside the room for a while. It is allowing another person to have their own thoughts without trying to manage them. It is allowing time to reveal what your tired mind cannot. It is allowing the body to become more important than the need to keep thinking. It is saying, I will do what belongs to me when the time is right, and I will release what does not belong to me tonight. This is not weakness. It takes strength to stop forcing. It takes self-trust to allow a question to remain open. It takes courage to stop chasing a result that fear says must happen now. You may have believed that control was the same as power. Control says, I must make this happen. Power says, I will respond wisely to what is mine. Control tries to manage every path. Power knows when to step back. Control fears what cannot be seen. Power leaves room for life to surprise you. Control stays awake because it does not trust tomorrow. Power rests because it knows a clearer self will be available in the morning. You can choose power without pressure. You can say, I release the need to know everything tonight. Let that thought move gently. You do not need to know what another person will decide. You do not need to know exactly when the situation will change. You do not need to know how every part of the future will be arranged. You do not need to know whether every fear is possible. You do not need to know the whole road. You only need enough light for the step that is real. And tonight, the real step may be rest. Fear may call this irresponsible, but fear often believes that worry is work. Worry can feel active, yet it rarely creates the kind of wisdom you need. Wisdom has room. Wisdom breathes. Wisdom does not rush every answer. Wisdom can say, I do not know yet. Wisdom can wait until the mind is clear enough to hear itself. Life may be trying to support you through that waiting. A delay may be creating room. A silence may be revealing truth. A closed door may be asking you to look in another direction. An unanswered question may be protecting you from a rushed decision. You do not have to call every pause a punishment. You do not have to call every delay a failure. Some things are still forming. Some parts of you are still becoming ready. Some answers need more time than fear wants to give them. Tonight, you can let time do its work. You can let life hold what is not ready. You can let the future remain unwritten. You can say, I am willing to let life hold what I cannot carry tonight. You do not have to feel completely convinced. Willingness is enough. You may say it while part of you is still afraid. You may say it while the mind still wants control. You may say it while the body is still tense. The words create an opening. They do not force trust. They invite it. I am willing. This is a gentle beginning. I am willing to stop gripping the answer. I am willing to let tomorrow arrive in its own time. I am willing to believe that support can reach me in ways I cannot plan. I am willing to rest without knowing how everything will turn out. I am willing to place this burden down for now. The burden may be the need to be understood. You can place it down. Your truth remains yours, even while the other person is silent. The burden may be the need to make everyone happy. You can place it down. Other people are allowed to have feelings that you do not need to fix tonight. The burden may be the need to know whether you made the perfect choice. You can place it down. Most real choices are made without complete certainty. The burden may be the need to predict tomorrow. You can place it down. Tomorrow has not asked you to live it yet. The burden may be the belief that you must stay strong every moment. You can place it down. Strength can include being held. You have been taught how to carry. Now you are learning how to receive. Receiving can feel harder than giving. Giving keeps you active. Receiving asks you to soften. Giving lets you feel useful. Receiving asks you to believe you are worthy even when you are not doing anything. Giving can feel safer because you remain in control. Receiving asks you to trust another source of care. Tonight the care may come from the quiet. It may come from the bed beneath you. It may come from the warmth around you. It may come from your own hand resting gently on your body. It may come from the simple truth that no one is asking you to solve anything in this moment. Let support be simple. It does not need to arrive as a great sign. It does not need to remove every problem. Support can be one moment when you stop fighting yourself. Support can be the decision not to reopen the message. Support can be the thought, I have done enough for today. Support can be the feeling that perhaps you do not have to hold the world together through the night. The universe does not need your panic in order to move. Life does not become more intelligent because you worry. Tomorrow does not prepare itself more carefully because you remain awake. There are things happening beyond your view. Time is moving. Bodies are healing. Feelings are changing. People are thinking. Situations are developing. New information is making its way toward you. The fact that you cannot see the movement does not mean nothing is happening. Darkness is not the same as emptiness. The night may look still, yet life continues within it. Your body knows this. While you rest, it does not become lazy. It repairs. It sorts. It restores what it can. It releases what it no longer needs. You do not supervise every part of this process. You allow it. This is one of the clearest signs that life can support you without your control. Your body already knows how to receive the night. The mind is the part still learning. You can speak to the mind gently. You do not have to stay on duty. You do not have to watch every door. You do not have to solve tomorrow. Something deeper can carry us now. You may call that deeper support life. You may call it love. You may call it the universe. You may call it the quiet wisdom within you. The name matters less than the opening. The opening says, I am not alone with this burden. You can feel spiritually supported without pretending the problem is gone. Spiritual trust is not denial. It does not say nothing hurts. It says hurt is not the only thing present. It does not say every answer is already clear. It says clarity can come. It does not say nothing difficult will happen. It says difficulty does not remove all support. It does not say you should never take action. It says action can come from a rested, steadier place. You can hold both truth and trust. Today was hard, and this night can still be gentle. You are worried, and support can still exist. You do not know what comes next, and you do not need to know before resting. You feel alone, and life may still be carrying you in ways you cannot yet feel. You can place the day into something larger than your tired mind. Imagine that you do not have to hold every part of it in your own hands. The words, the faces, the tasks, the mistakes, the questions, the future. You can let them rest outside your body for a while. You are not throwing them away. You are giving them space. You are saying, these things do not need to live inside my chest all night. You are saying, I will return to what is mine when I have more strength. You are saying, life can hold the rest. This may feel strange. Let it feel strange. The new path often feels uncertain before it feels peaceful. You may have trusted fear for a long time. Now you are learning to trust rest. Fear says, stay awake and be ready. Rest says, you will respond when there is something real to meet. Fear says, carry everything so nothing is lost. Rest says, what is truly yours will still be there when morning comes. Fear says, control the timing. Rest says, time is already moving. Fear says, do not let go. Rest says, you can be held. Become willing to be carried. Not forever, not away from responsibility, just through this night. Let the hours move without your effort. Let darkness cover what does not need to be solved. Let silence hold the words you cannot finish. Let the body receive the care it has been asking for. Let your spirit stop proving that it can survive everything alone. You were never meant to carry every burden without relief. You were never meant to make fear your only guide. You were never meant to believe that support must be earned through complete exhaustion. You are allowed to receive care before the answer comes. You are allowed to rest before the situation changes. You are allowed to feel held before you understand how life will move. The night is not asking for a plan. It is asking for your willingness. Willingness to stop. Willingness to soften. Willingness to release the need to know. Willingness to let life remain active while you become still. Perhaps nothing outside changes before morning, but something within you can change tonight. You can stop standing guard over every fear. You can stop carrying every unfinished part of the day. You can stop treating rest as something dangerous. You can begin to believe that support is possible. That belief may be quiet. It may be only a small opening in the heart. That is enough. You do not need a great spiritual moment. You only need the soft thought, perhaps I do not have to do this alone. Let that thought remain. Perhaps I do not have to carry every answer. Perhaps I do not have to control every path. Perhaps life can meet me. Perhaps morning can bring another view. Perhaps the universe can hold what my hands cannot. I release the need to know everything tonight. Life can support me while I rest. I am willing to be carried gently through this night. Support does not always arrive with a loud sign. It does not always come as a sudden answer, a perfect message, or a clear change in the situation. Sometimes support is much quieter than that. Sometimes it is already around you, but the tired mind is looking so hard for something dramatic that it cannot notice what is gentle too. Night support may be the room that asks nothing from you. It may be the place beneath your body. It may be the blanket resting over you. It may be the air moving in and out without needing to be controlled. It may be the silence that does not demand an answer. It may be the darkness that covers the unfinished parts of the day and gives them somewhere to be still. You may have spent the whole day looking for support in words, actions, decisions, or people. Perhaps you wanted someone to notice that you were tired. Perhaps you wanted someone to say the right thing. Perhaps you wanted a sign that everything you were carrying would become easier. Maybe that did not happen. Maybe the day ended without the comfort you hoped to receive. But the absence of one kind of support does not mean there is no support at all. There are quiet forms of care that do not speak. The bed beneath you does not ask you to explain why you are tired. The night does not ask you to prove that the day was difficult. The room does not ask you to smile. The darkness does not compare your life with anyone else's. This moment is not testing you. It is simply here. You can let that simplicity become a kind of kindness. Nothing needs to happen right now for this moment to have value. You do not need a great change before you are allowed to feel a little relief. You do not need the whole problem to disappear before the body can receive one sign of safety. A small sign is enough to begin. The softness beneath you can be a sign. The stillness around you can be a sign. The fact that the day is no longer asking for your action can be a sign. The fact that you have reached this hour can be a sign. You made it through the day, not perfectly, not without feeling tired, not without moments you wish had been different. But you reached the place where the day begins to release you. That matters. There may be a part of you that says, "This is not enough. I need more than a quiet room. I need the problem to change." Of course you want the problem to change. Of course you want the answer. Of course you want the weight to become lighter. You are not wrong for wanting that. But if you tell yourself that no comfort is real until the whole situation changes, you may miss the small forms of support that are trying to help you survive the space in between. There is often a space between the question and the answer, a space between the hurt and the healing, a space between the ending and the new beginning. A space between knowing that something must change and seeing what comes next. That space can feel empty, but empty is not always the right word. Sometimes the space is quiet because something is resting. Sometimes it is quiet because the old noise is fading. Sometimes it is quiet because the next step has not yet become clear. You do not have to fill every quiet space with fear. You can let some spaces remain open. The mind may not like openness. It wants to name everything. It wants to know whether the silence is good or bad. It wants to know whether the delay is protection or rejection. It wants to know whether the closed door will reopen. But the mind does not always receive an answer the moment it asks. Sometimes support is not an answer. Sometimes support is the strength to remain gentle while you do not know. You can feel uncertain and still supported. You can feel tired and still held. You can feel lonely and still connected to life. You can be waiting and still be moving through something meaningful. The quiet around you is not proof that nothing cares. Silence is not always absence. There are times when the deepest care is silent because it is allowing you to stop. The trees do not speak through the night, yet they remain alive. The sky does not explain how morning will arrive, yet morning continues to come. Your body does not tell you every small thing it is doing, yet it keeps working for you. Much of life supports you without making an announcement. Your heart has carried you through every hour of this day. It did not ask you to remember every beat. Your lungs kept moving while you were busy, worried, speaking, working, or thinking. Your body continued offering life even when your mind was focused on everything that felt wrong. There is a quiet loyalty within you. Your body may be tired. It may need care. It may need attention, rest, support, or healing. But even in tiredness, it has been trying to carry you. Tonight, you can stop treating the body like a problem that interrupts your plans. You can recognize it as the home that has carried every feeling, every loss, every hope, every beginning, and every difficult day. Your body has been with you through moments nobody else fully understood. It has held tears you did not show. It has felt fear you did not speak. It has carried you into rooms where you wanted to leave. It has continued moving when your spirit felt tired. It deserves tenderness now. You do not need to create a perfect feeling of love toward your body. Begin with respect. Begin with the thought, you have carried a lot. Begin with the thought, I will not ask you to keep fighting tonight. Begin with the thought, you are allowed to receive care. The body may not soften immediately. It has heard many urgent messages today. It may need time to trust the quiet. Let it take that time. You do not need to force yourself into peace. Forced peace becomes another form of pressure. Real peace often enters slowly. It may begin when you stop asking, why am I not relaxed yet? It may begin when you allow yourself to be tired without making tiredness a problem. It may begin when you stop measuring the night. You do not need to check whether the words are working. You do not need to decide whether you feel better enough. You can simply remain here without adding another demand. That is support too. The freedom from another demand. The freedom from being watched. The freedom from being judged. The freedom from needing to explain. You may have spent the day feeling as though every part of you belonged to someone or something else. Your attention belonged to the work. Your time belonged to the tasks. Your patience belonged to the needs around you. Your thoughts belonged to the problem. Now this moment can belong to you, not so you can do something impressive with it, so you can have nothing to prove. There is great relief in having nothing to prove. You do not have to prove that you are strong. You do not have to prove that you are healing. You do not have to prove that you are spiritual enough to remain calm. You do not have to prove that the day did not affect you. Let yourself be affected. Let yourself admit that it was heavy. Truth can be comforting when it no longer has to be hidden. You can say, today asked too much from me. You can say, I did not have the support I needed. You can say, I am tired of being the one who carries everything. You can say these truths without turning them into the end of your story. A truth about today is not always a truth about forever. Today may have been lonely. That does not mean every day will be lonely. Today may have been confusing. That does not mean clarity is gone. Today may have closed a door. That does not mean no other path exists. Today may have shown you a limit. That does not mean you have failed. It may mean you are beginning to understand what needs to change. The night gives you a quiet place to let truth become clear without demanding immediate action. Not every truth needs a decision tonight. Some truths only need to be heard. Perhaps the truth is that you need more help. Perhaps the truth is that you have been saying yes too often. Perhaps the truth is that your body needs attention. Perhaps the truth is that you are tired of pretending something does not hurt. Perhaps the truth is that you are ready for a different way. You do not have to build the whole new way now. Let the truth sit gently beside you. Let it be known. There is support in no longer lying to yourself. There is support in hearing your own need without laughing at it, pushing it away, or calling it too much. There is support in saying, "This matters to me." You matter to yourself. That may be one of the quietest and strongest forms of support. The moment you stop abandoning your own feelings, the night becomes less lonely. You may still want another voice. You may still need connection. You may still hope for help. But you are no longer standing against yourself while waiting for it. You become one safe place inside the uncertainty. You become one voice that says, "I believe your tiredness." You become one presence that says, "You do not need to hide here." You become one source of care that cannot be taken away by another person's silence. This is not about doing everything alone. It is about not leaving yourself alone inside what you feel. There is a difference. You deserve support beyond yourself. You deserve caring people, honest connection, useful help, and safe places. And see how those forms of support are finding their way toward you. You can remain beside yourself. You can stop using the voice of the people who did not understand you. You can stop repeating the words that once made you feel small. You can create another voice. A voice that is simple. A voice that does not argue. A voice that says, "I am here. I see that you are tired. I see that you tried. I will not demand more from you tonight." These words may feel small, but small words can reach deep places. The tired heart does not always need a long speech. Sometimes it needs one sentence it can believe. "I am here." That sentence can become a light, not a bright light that removes every shadow. A soft light that helps you know you are not completely lost. I am here. You are here with your own body. You are here with your own breath. You are here in this moment, not inside every possible tomorrow. You are here, and the difficult day is moving farther away with every passing hour. Quiet support is still support. Do not reject it because it is not dramatic. Do not say the soft thing does not matter because it did not solve everything. A drink of water does not solve a whole life, but it supports the body. A kind word does not erase the past, but it changes the moment. A night of rest does not answer every question, but it gives you strength to meet the answer when it comes. A little relief is not meaningless because it is little. Small relief can be the beginning of trust. The mind may have been waiting for one great event to prove that life has not forgotten you. But life often speaks in smaller ways. A moment when the chest feels less tight. A thought that becomes less frightening. A sudden understanding that you do not have to continue the same habit. A little space between you and the fear. A feeling that tomorrow may not need to be decided tonight. These are not loud miracles. They are quiet openings. Let them count. Let the fact that you are still capable of receiving one kind thought count. Let the fact that you are willing to put something down count. Let the fact that you are listening to yourself count. Let the fact that you reached for gentleness instead of more pressure count. Change often begins before it becomes visible. It begins in these small choices. It begins in the moment you no longer call worry your only protection. It begins when you stop making pain prove its importance by staying awake with it. It begins when you say, "This room can be different from the day." Let the room be different. The world outside may still be moving. There may be cars, voices, lights, responsibilities, and lives continuing beyond these walls. You do not have to follow all of it. You can let the world be large without carrying all of it. The room can become smaller in a comforting way. Only this place, only this moment, only the space your body is resting in. You do not need to travel into every memory. You do not need to travel into the future. You can remain close to what is simple. The weight of the blanket, the support beneath you, the air touching your skin, the quiet beyond the window, the hands that no longer need to hold anything. Your hands have held enough today. They may have carried bags, opened doors, typed words, cleaned, cooked, worked, helped, reached, and held. Now let them be empty. Empty hands are not useless. Empty hands can receive. They can receive warmth. They can receive stillness. They can receive the message that nothing is being demanded now. You do not need to grip the future with your hands. You do not need to hold another person's choice. You do not need to carry the day in your fingers. Let the hands rest as a sign to the whole body. The work is over for now. If the mind brings something back, you can return to what is near, not with force, simply return. There is the room, there is the quiet, there is the body being held. There is this moment asking for nothing. You may return many times. Each return matters. Each return is a message. I am not leaving myself inside the thought. I am coming back. I am choosing what is here. The thought may still exist. The problem may still be real, but you are no longer giving it every part of your attention. Attention is precious. You have given much of it away today. Let some of it come home. You do not have to focus perfectly. Your mind may wander. Let it wander and return. There is no failure in returning. Returning is the practice. You may return to the feeling of support beneath you. You may return to the truth that the day has ended. You may return to one kind sentence. You may return to the simple fact that your body does not need to stand guard right now. The room is not asking you to perform. The night is not asking you to become someone else. The silence is not judging the choices you made. You are allowed to exist without fixing yourself. Let this truth become clear. You are not a project tonight. You are not a list of problems. You are not something that needs to be improved before it can be treated with care. You are a tired human being at the end of a day. That is enough reason for gentleness. You can let the night cover you without asking what you have done to deserve it. Darkness comes for every person. Rest is a natural part of life. You do not need to earn what nature already understands. There is a time for effort and a time for release, a time for speaking and a time for silence, a time for holding and a time for being held. Perhaps this is the time for being held, not only by another person, by the bed, by the room, by the quiet, by life continuing around you without needing your control, by the simple support of this moment. You may not feel completely held. Let yourself become willing to feel one small part of it. One small part is enough. Quiet support is still support. You can allow it to come near without asking it to solve everything. You can let the night become a gentle place. You can stop searching for a large sign and notice the soft signs already here. You are breathing. You have reached this hour. You are listening. You are no longer alone against yourself. Something inside you is becoming willing to rest. That is support. That is movement. That is the beginning of release. The day does not always leave through one great act. Often it leaves through small choices. A door is closed. A light becomes softer. The phone is placed farther away. A glass is filled. The face is washed. The clothes of the day are changed. A task is written down so the mind no longer has to hold it. A simple thought is offered to the body. These actions may look ordinary, but the body understands ordinary signs. It understands when the room becomes quieter. It understands when the hands stop working. It understands when you no longer reach for another demand. It understands when the day has a clear ending. You do not need a perfect nighttime routine. You do not need to perform rest correctly. You do not need to complete a long list of calming actions before you are allowed to sleep. The goal is not perfection. The goal is to offer the body a few simple signs that the day is over. Your body has received signals all day, the sound of messages, the movement of people, the pressure of time, the look of unfinished work, the feeling of needing to respond, the thought that something might go wrong. These signals kept you moving. Now you can begin sending different ones. The phone can wait. The task can wait. The answer can wait. The world can continue without your attention for a while. Placing the phone away may seem like a small action, but if the phone has become a doorway back into the day, moving it can become a loving boundary. You may feel the urge to check once more. The mind may say there could be something important. Sometimes there is something important, but not every urge is a real need. Sometimes the urge is only the nervous system looking for certainty. It wants to know whether someone replied. It wants to know whether anything changed. It wants to know what everyone else is doing. It wants to escape the quiet for another moment. You can notice the urge without obeying it. You can say, I know you want relief. Then choose a form of relief that does not bring more noise. The screen may offer distraction, but distraction and rest are not always the same. Distraction moves you away from one thought by giving you many more. Rest allows the mind to have less. Less information, less comparison, less demand, less need to react. You may not need to remove every source of noise. Simply reduce what you can. One small reduction tells the body, we are no longer gathering more from the day. You have enough to carry. You do not need more voices inside the room. You do not need another life to compare with your own. I do not need another problem to think about. Let the day stop entering you. You can also give the unfinished tasks somewhere to rest. The mind may keep repeating them because it is afraid they will be forgotten. It says, remember this. Then it says it again. Then it brings another task. Soon, the whole list is moving through your head. You can take the list out of the mind. Write one short note. Not a complete plan for your whole life. Only what truly needs to be remembered. Once it is written, tell yourself, this no longer needs to live in my body. The page can hold it. The morning can meet it. You do not need to solve it now. Writing something down can be an act of trust. You are trusting that you can return. You are trusting that tomorrow has space. You are trusting that the task does not become more important because it remains in your head. Let the paper remember for you. Let the mind release its grip. Perhaps one worry is larger than a task. It may not have a clear answer. You can still give it words. Write the worry simply. I am afraid that I do not know whether I wish I could. Then stop. You do not need to finish the thought with a solution. Sometimes naming the worry is enough to remove some of its pressure. The worry is no longer a shapeless feeling everywhere in the body. It has a sentence. It has a place. It can sit outside you for the night. You can say, I see this fear, and I will not force an answer from myself. This is a small act of release. Not the release of never thinking about it again. The release of not carrying it every moment. You can also let water become a message of care, not a rule, not a cure for everything, a simple message. I am giving the body something gentle. You may have moved through the day without noticing what the body needed. You may have delayed food, water, rest, or movement because other things felt more urgent. Now urgency is fading. Care can become more important. Hold the glass. Notice that you are doing something kind without needing a large reason. You do not have to wait until the body is in pain before offering care. Care is allowed before crisis. This is a new lesson for many tired hearts. You may have learned to respond only when things become extreme. You rest only when you can no longer continue. You ask for help only when everything becomes too much. You speak only after resentment grows. You care for the body only after it begins to shout. Tonight, care can arrive earlier, not because the body has failed, because it has been faithful. You can care for what is still carrying you. Washing the face can also become a small ending. Not because you must create a special ritual, because the body can feel the difference between the outer world and the quiet that comes after it. The water touches the face that held many expressions today. The face that smiled when tired. The face that became serious. The face that tried to remain calm. The face that may have hidden sadness. Let the water carry away the need to keep presenting yourself. You do not need to wear the face of the day through the night. You can become private again. You can become soft again. You can belong only to yourself for a while. Changing into comfortable clothing may seem ordinary, but comfort tells the body that performance is over. You no longer need to be prepared for the room, the work, or the eyes of others. You can choose what feels gentle against the skin. Comfort is not laziness. Comfort is communication. It says, I am listening to the body now. It says, I do not need to remain ready for every demand. It says, the night is allowed to feel different. Small changes in the room can help the body understand this too. A softer light, less sound, a cooler or warmer space if possible. Nothing complicated. You are not trying to build a perfect place. You are reducing what asks the body to stay alert. The body notices light. It notices sound. It notices movement. It notices whether the hand keeps reaching for another task. Give it fewer reasons to prepare. You may still feel tense. Let the room become quiet even before you do. The outer quiet can wait for the inner quiet. You do not have to force them to arrive together. Perhaps your shoulders remain tight. Do not order them to relax. Speak to them instead. You have carried enough. Perhaps the jaw is holding words. Say, you do not have to finish every sentence tonight. Perhaps the stomach is tight around the future. Say, tomorrow is not here. Perhaps the hands feel restless. Say, "There is nothing you need to hold." These words are not commands. They are permissions. The body has received enough commands. Do this. Go there. Answer now. Hurry. Keep going. Tonight, let the language change. You may. You can. You are allowed. Nothing is being forced. The body can choose how quickly it receives the message. You can speak one kind sentence instead of searching for many perfect words. One sentence may be enough. I did what I could today. Or, I do not have to solve this tonight. Or, my body is allowed to rest. Choose the sentence that feels nearest to the truth. Do not choose one so large that the mind begins arguing. You do not need to say, "Everything is perfect." Perhaps it is not. You do not need to say, "I am completely peaceful." Perhaps you are not. Choose honesty with kindness. This moment can be softer. I am willing to stop for the night. I can meet tomorrow when it comes. These thoughts do not deny the difficulty. They create room around it. One kind sentence repeated naturally can become stronger than many empty words. Let the sentence stay simple. The tired mind needs simple truth. You may also decide that one unfinished thing will remain unfinished. This can be an important practice. The mind may say, "Everything must be complete before rest." Choose one thing that can wait. Let it wait on purpose. Not because you forgot, because you decided. This changes the feeling. An unfinished task is no longer proof that you failed. It becomes proof that you can choose your limit. You are telling yourself, "I decide when enough is enough." That is self-trust. The task may still matter, but you matter too. You do not need to finish yourself in order to finish the work. There will be times when something truly cannot wait. You will know that. You can act when action is needed. But many things feel urgent only because the nervous system is afraid. Ask, "Does this truly need me now, or am I afraid to stop?" The answer may become clear. If it truly needs you, do the smallest useful thing. Do not turn one need into the whole night. If it can wait, let waiting become part of the care. You are not failing responsibility. You are placing responsibility inside a human life, a life that needs rest, a body that has limits, a mind that becomes less clear when pushed too far. Rest makes room for wiser action. You can also release the need to review the whole day. You do not need to decide whether the day was good or bad. A day can contain both, a kind moment and a painful one, a success and a mistake, laughter and fear, progress and tiredness. You do not need to give the day one final name. Let it be complicated. You lived it. That is enough. The mind likes to review because it wants a lesson. Some lessons become clear later. You do not need to force meaning from everything before sleep. A difficult moment may teach you something next week. A closed door may make sense months from now. A feeling may reveal a need when you have more distance. Let meaning take time. You do not need to turn the night into a classroom. Tonight can simply be a place of care. Perhaps you still hear words that hurt. You can choose not to carry the speaker's voice into your rest. You may not be able to forget the words, but you can answer them. If the voice said you were not enough, answer, "My worth is not decided there." If the voice made you feel selfish for having needs, answer, "My needs are part of my humanity." If the voice blamed you for everything, answer, "I will take responsibility for what is mine and release what is not." If the voice made you feel small, answer, "I do not have to become smaller to be loved." You do not need a long argument. One clear truth is enough. You are not trying to defeat the other voice. You are choosing which voice remains inside you tonight. Let your own voice become the final one, not a harsh voice, not a loud voice, a steady voice. I know who I am beyond this moment. I know what I deserve. I know that I can learn without losing my worth. These are small acts of inner protection. You are closing the door gently on what does not need to follow you. You may also notice a need to forgive yourself for the day. Not because everything you did was right, because punishment is not the same as growth. You can admit, "I wish I had chosen differently." Then add, "I will not destroy myself over one choice." You can admit, "I hurt someone." Then add, "I can take responsibility when I am able to respond clearly." You can admit, "I did not do what I promised myself." Then add, "I can begin again without using shame." Forgiveness does not remove responsibility. It removes the belief that pain is the only way to become better. You can become better through honesty, through care, through a new choice, through returning. The day does not need to be erased. It needs to be placed in the past. What happened is now behind this moment. The mind may bring it forward, but time is still moving. You can help yourself move with it. One small act at a time. Put down the phone, write the task, drink the water, wash away the outer day, choose comfort. Let one thing remain unfinished. Speak one kind sentence. None of these actions is magic by itself. Together they create a message. The day is over. The body may have been waiting for that message. Not only the words, the actions that agree with the words. If you say the day is over but keep checking, working, planning, and reviewing, the body receives two messages. If you begin acting as though the day is ending, the message becomes clearer. You do not have to do everything at once. Choose what is possible. One small action can begin the turn. One small action can break the old momentum. One small action can say, "Tonight will not continue in the same way." Small acts of care tell the body that the day is over. They tell the heart that it is no longer last on the list. They tell the mind that it can stop carrying every reminder. They tell the spirit that rest is not a reward. It is part of being alive. You do not need to feel a great change immediately. The body may still be tired. The mind may still return to the problem. Let the actions be gentle signs, not demands for a result. You are creating a softer place inside yourself, a place where tiredness can be admitted, a place where the day can be unfinished, a place where worry is not the only voice, a place where your body does not have to beg for care, a place where tomorrow is allowed to wait. This place is built slowly, one night, one choice, one kind sentence, one act of care. You may not notice the change while it is beginning, but each time you end the day with greater tenderness, you teach yourself another way to live. You teach yourself that the day does not own the night. You teach yourself that worry is not the price of responsibility. You teach yourself that care can arrive before collapse. You teach yourself that you are worth the small effort it takes to make the night gentler. You are not creating a perfect life. You are creating a safe return. A way to come back after the world has asked too much. A way to say, enough for today. A way to stop dragging one hard hour into every hour that follows. Let tonight be a small beginning, not a complete answer. A beginning, a simple choice to release what does not need your attention now. A small sign to the body, a soft ending to the day. Today may have felt heavy, but it does not own tomorrow. One difficult day cannot decide your whole future. One moment of fear cannot decide who you are becoming. One mistake cannot remove every good choice you have made. One delay cannot prove that life has stopped moving. One painful conversation cannot decide every relationship you will ever have. One tired night cannot mean that you are failing at life. Today is one part of your path. It is not the whole path. The tired mind often forgets this. At the end of a hard day, the mind looks at the present feeling and imagines it continuing forever. If you feel lonely tonight, the mind says loneliness is your future. If you feel afraid, the mind says there will be more to fear. If something did not work, the mind says nothing will work. If you lost your strength, the mind says you are becoming weak. But feelings do not know the future. They only know the moment they are moving through. A feeling can be strong without being permanent. A day can be painful without becoming your destiny. You have lived through days that once felt endless. They ended. You have carried emotions that once felt larger than you. They changed. You have faced questions that once seemed impossible. Some were answered. Some became less important. Some led you in a direction you could not see at first. Life moves. Even when the tired mind says nothing is changing, life is moving. Time is changing your distance from the moment. Your body is processing what happened. Your understanding is growing. New information may arrive. Other people may make choices. You may wake with a thought that did not exist tonight. You do not have to know how tomorrow will be different. You only need to remember that tomorrow is not required to repeat today. The sun does not rise carrying a copy of every hour that came before it. Morning is not an empty promise. It is a natural change in perspective. The room looks different. The body may feel different. The same problem may still exist, but you may stand in front of it with more space inside you. That space matters. A small amount of rest can change the voice of the mind. The problem that felt impossible at night may become a task with steps. The words that felt like a final ending may become one part of a longer conversation. The fear that felt like truth may become a feeling you can examine. The tired mind makes everything close. Rest creates distance. Distance does not mean you stop caring. It means you can see more. You may see what belongs to you and what does not. You may see which action is useful. You may see that the fear was asking you to solve something that had not happened. You may see that the closed door is not the only door. You may see that the mistake can be repaired. You may see that the ending creates a space you did not want, but may someday need. You do not need to see any of this tonight. Let tomorrow bring its own view. Today does not get the final word simply because it was loud. Pain often feels final while it is happening. But life is larger than the loudest moment. You are larger than the emotion moving through you. The person you are tonight is not the complete person who will meet tomorrow. Rest may return a little patience, a little courage, a little humor, a little hope, a little willingness. You do not need to wake completely changed. A little is enough. A little more space can change a choice. A little more calm can change a conversation. A little more strength can help you set a boundary. A little more kindness can stop you from attacking yourself. A little more hope can keep you moving. Do not underestimate what rest returns. Rest does not only remove tiredness, it can return you to yourself. It can return the part of you that knows how to think beyond fear. It can return the voice that says, there may be another way. It can return the ability to wait before reacting. It can return the strength to say no. It can return the softness to say yes when yes is true. Rest protects the life you are building. It protects your ability to create. It protects your ability to love without becoming empty. It protects your ability to make decisions from wisdom instead of panic. It protects the body that carries every dream. Rest is not time taken away from your future. Rest is part of how you prepare for it. You may feel as though resting means losing time. Perhaps you already feel behind. Perhaps the day did not hold enough progress. Perhaps you believe you should use the night to catch up. But you cannot truly catch up by leaving yourself farther behind. If the body is always last, progress will begin to feel like punishment. If every dream demands your exhaustion, the dream may become another place where you disappear. The future you want needs you present inside it. Not only productive, present, able to feel, able to choose, able to receive, able to recognize when something good arrives. A constantly tired mind may reach a goal and still be unable to enjoy it. A constantly guarded heart may receive love and still be unable to trust it. A body that has been pushed without care may enter a new chapter already asking for repair. Rest helps you become available to the good you are seeking. It is not separate from the path. It is part of the path. Perhaps today showed you something important. Maybe it showed you that you are carrying too much. Maybe it showed you that one relationship needs a different boundary. Maybe it showed you that the way you speak to yourself is making a hard life harder. Maybe it showed you that you need help. Maybe it showed you that the old pace cannot continue. A hard day can reveal a truth without becoming a punishment. You can receive the message without believing the whole day was a failure. Sometimes life becomes uncomfortable before you admit what needs to change. The discomfort is not always against you. It may be showing you where you have moved too far from yourself. It may be showing you what no longer fits. It may be showing you what your body can no longer carry in silence. You do not need to make the change tonight. Simply let yourself know that the message was heard. I see that this cannot continue in the same way. I see that I need more care. I see that this boundary matters. I see that my body has been asking for rest. Tomorrow can begin from that truth. A new beginning does not always look like a new life. Sometimes it looks like one different response. You wake and decide not to check immediately. You decide not to begin the day by repeating yesterday's story. You drink water before giving your attention to the world. You answer the message after thinking instead of from fear. You choose one task instead of carrying all of them at once. You speak to yourself without the old insult. These are small beginnings, but small beginnings change direction. You do not need to wake as a completely new person. You only need to stop making the old pattern the only choice. Tomorrow may give you another chance to practice, not another chance to be perfect, another chance to return. You may forget what you learned tonight. The day may become busy. The old fear may rise. That does not remove the truth. You can remember again. You can return again. You can begin again in the middle of the morning, the afternoon, or another difficult night. A new beginning does not belong only to sunrise. It belongs to every moment you choose differently. You are not too late for that choice. Today may have made you feel behind. You may have looked at the work, the money, the relationship, the body, or the dream and thought, I should be farther. But life is not one straight line. There are seasons of movement and seasons of learning, seasons of building and seasons of releasing, seasons when the outer life grows and seasons when the deepest change is happening within. You cannot always measure growth by what became visible today. Perhaps today's growth was the moment you admitted you were tired. Perhaps it was the moment you noticed the old pattern. Perhaps it was the moment you did not send the words written from pain. Perhaps it is happening now as you choose not to carry the whole day into tomorrow. This counts. Inner change counts. A softer response counts. The willingness to stop counts. The first boundary counts. The first honest thought counts. The quiet choice to rest counts. The world may not see these changes. Life inside you does. The body feels when you become less cruel. The heart feels when you stop demanding that it heal on command. The mind feels when you no longer believe every frightening thought. These changes create a know their future. Not in one dramatic moment, through repeated choices. Tomorrow does not need a perfect version of you. It needs a present version, a version willing to listen, a version willing to take one useful step, a version willing to stop when the body says enough, a version willing to learn without shame. You are allowed to meet tomorrow slowly. You do not have to wake and carry the entire future before leaving the bed. You do not have to decide the whole week. You do not have to become cheerful before you are ready. You do not have to pretend the pain has gone. Meet one morning moment, then the next. Let life arrive in pieces small enough to hold. Fear brings the whole future at once. Peace meets the moment that is here. Tomorrow, return to the moment, one task, one choice, one conversation, one need, one breath, not as a strict rule, as permission not to carry everything together. You may not know what tomorrow will ask. You do not need to prepare for every possible version. You can trust that you will meet the real day when it arrives. Your strength is not limited to what you feel tonight. New strength can arrive with new need. You may wake with more than you expect. You may receive support. You may find a word. You may recognize an answer. You may decide that something you were chasing is no longer right for you. You may still feel tired. Even then, you can move gently. The future does not demand that you become fearless. It asks you not to let fear write every decision before the day begins. Today was a chapter, not your whole future. A chapter can be painful. It can be confusing. It can end without resolution. But the book continues. You do not need to know the next page. You only need to stop reading the same painful page all night. Let today remain where it belongs, behind this moment. Let the lesson stay. Let the weight begin to leave. Let tomorrow arrive without being forced to carry every detail. You can release the day and make space for something new. The new thing may be small, a clearer thought, a kinder choice, a moment of courage, a little more energy, a different answer, a needed ending, a quiet beginning. You do not need to decide what it will be. Space is enough. Tonight, you create space by no longer filling every part of yourself with the old day. You leave room for sleep, room for healing, room for another view, room for life to move beyond what you can see. Tomorrow can meet a softer version of you, not a weaker version. Softness is not weakness. Softness allows you to bend without breaking. It allows you to listen before reacting. It allows you to care without destroying yourself. It allows you to remain open to good after disappointment. A softer version of you may be stronger than the version that carried everything alone. A softer version knows when to stop, knows when to ask, knows when to release, knows that worth does not have to be proved through pain. Let tomorrow meet that version slowly. You do not have to become it all at once. Rest is one step. Kindness is one step. Not repeating the old story tonight is one step. You have already begun. Today does not decide tomorrow. Tonight is creating a different meeting place, a place between what happened and what comes next, a place where you can recover enough of yourself to choose again. Let today become a chapter. Let the page turn when it is ready. Let tomorrow remain open. Now there is nothing more you need to understand, nothing more you need to solve, nothing more you need to prove. The words can become simpler now. The day can move farther away. You have looked at what it left inside you. You have understood why the mind kept holding on. You have seen that the old fear was trying to protect you. You have become willing to choose the discomfort that leads toward peace. You have remembered that support can be quiet. You have offered the body small signs that the day is ending. You have made space for tomorrow to be different. Now let the night do what the night knows how to do. Let it become still around you. Let it cover what does not need an answer. Let it hold the questions outside your hands. You do not need to carry them farther. The day has taken enough of your energy. The night can return something. A little softness, a little silence, a little distance from the thought, a little room inside the chest. You do not need to force this return. Let it happen slowly. You can receive only what feels possible. One sentence may reach you. Let that be enough. I release this day with love. Not because every part of the day was easy, not because everything that happened was right. You release it because the day has ended. You release it because holding it tighter cannot change it now. You release it because your body deserves to stop living inside what has already passed. I release this day with love. I let the good remain as a gentle memory. I let the lesson remain as quiet wisdom. I let the pain stop asking for all of my attention. I let what is finished become finished. I do not have to solve everything tonight. The problem does not become more important because I worry about it. The answer does not become clearer because I force it. The future does not become safer because I imagine every danger. I can care without continuing the fight. I can be responsible without carrying tomorrow now. I can trust that what needs my attention will meet me again. I do not have to solve everything tonight. My body is allowed to soften. It does not need to remain ready for a danger that is not happening in this room. It does not need to hold every word in the jaw. It does not need to hold every task in the shoulders. It does not need to hold tomorrow in the stomach. Dear body, you have carried enough. You are allowed to become heavy against the support beneath you. You are allowed to stop proving your strength. You are allowed to receive the night. My body is allowed to soften. My mind is allowed to become quiet. It may not become silent immediately. That is okay. Thoughts may still move. They do not need to be followed. A thought can come and go without becoming a new journey. A memory can appear without becoming the whole night. A question can remain unanswered without becoming an emergency. My mind is allowed to become quiet in its own time. I will not frighten it for still being active. I will not demand perfect peace. I will offer patience. My mind is allowed to become quiet. I forgive myself for what I could not finish. I had limits today. I had only so much energy. I had only the understanding available in each moment. Some things were completed, some were not. The unfinished work does not remove my worth. The task can wait. The plan can wait. The version of me that finishes everything perfectly does not need to appear tonight. I forgive myself for what I could not finish. I release the words I wish had been different. I cannot return to the conversation and speak again. I can learn. I can decide whether another conversation is needed. I can meet the next moment with more care. But I do not need to keep changing the old words inside my head. What I meant is known to me. What I felt is known to me. My truth does not need to stay awake defending itself. I release the words I wish had been different. I am safe to leave some answers for tomorrow. Not every answer belongs to the night. Some answers need time. Some need more information. Some need a calmer mind. Some need distance. Some may come when I stop searching. I do not need to know what another person is thinking. I do not need to know exactly when life will change. I do not need to know the whole path. I am safe to leave some answers for tomorrow. Life supports me even when I am not controlling it. The heart keeps beating. The body keeps breathing. Time keeps moving. Morning knows how to arrive. There are movements I cannot see. There are possibilities I cannot plan. There is wisdom beyond the fear of this moment. I can do what belongs to me and release the rest. Life supports me even when I am not controlling it. Rest is part of my healing. Rest does not make me lazy. Rest does not mean I have given up. Rest does not remove my care. Rest returns energy to the mind. Rest gives the body room. Rest allows the heart to stop defending itself. Rest prepares me to choose with greater wisdom. I do not need to earn what the body naturally needs. Rest is part of my healing. I am worthy of peace before everything is perfect. Peace does not belong only to the version of me who has solved every problem. Peace does not wait until everyone understands me. Peace does not wait until the work is complete. Peace does not wait until the future becomes certain. I can receive one peaceful moment while life remains unfinished. My worth is not waiting for perfect conditions. I am worthy of peace now. The night receives what I am ready to release. I release the need to keep checking. I release the need to keep explaining. I release the need to punish myself. I release the belief that worry proves my love. I release the belief that tiredness must always be pushed aside. I release only what I am ready to release. The rest can soften later. Nothing needs to be forced. The night receives what I am ready to release. I trust that morning can bring a new view. Morning may not remove every problem, but it can create distance. It can return a little strength. It can bring another thought. It can show me what fear could not see. I do not need morning to promise perfection. I only need to allow the possibility of another view. I trust that morning can meet me with something new. I am held, supported, and gently guided. Support may be quiet. It may be the bed beneath me. It may be the silence around me. It may be the strength within my body. It may be the wisdom that arrives later. It may be the care I am finally giving myself. I do not need a dramatic sign. I can receive the quiet support already here. I am held, supported, and gently guided. I return to myself with love. I return from the future I was trying to control. I return from the conversation I kept replaying. I return from the fear of what may happen. I return from the pressure to be everything for everyone. I return to the body. I return to this room. I return to this night. I return to myself with love. The tired parts of you have worked hard today. The part that kept moving, the part that kept answering, the part that tried to stay calm, the part that carried fear without showing it, the part that wanted someone to notice, the part that kept saying, I can handle a little more. You can thank those parts now. Not because they must keep working, because they brought you here. Thank you for carrying me. You can stop now. You do not need to keep proving anything. These parts may not trust the words immediately. They have been needed for a long time. Let them hear the message again without pressure. You can stop now. The protector can stop watching. The worker can stop producing. The helper can stop answering. The thinker can stop searching. The heart can stop preparing for another hurt. Nothing more is demanded. The world may still contain unfinished things, but this moment contains no demand. Let that become clear. No decision is standing in front of you. No conversation is happening here. No future event needs to be survived now. You are in the night. The night is carrying time forward. You do not need to push it. Let the unfinished thoughts become quieter without fighting them. A thought may say, remember. You can answer, I will remember when I need to. A thought may say, what if? You can answer, I will meet what is real. A thought may say, you should have. You can answer, I am learning. A thought may say, do more. You can answer, enough for today. Then let the thought move. You do not need to watch where it goes. The mind knows how to release when it no longer receives a new argument. The body knows how to become heavier when it no longer receives a new warning. Let the day move farther away. The morning is no longer in front of you. The afternoon is no longer around you. The difficult words are no longer being spoken. The tasks are no longer being placed in your hands. They are memories now. They may still feel close, but time has already moved. Let yourself move with it. The day is behind you. You are not required to return. The night is not empty. It is holding space for restoration. It is giving the mind fewer things to respond to. It is giving the body a chance to stop preparing. It is giving the heart a chance to exist without being asked for anything. This is not wasted time. Something quiet happens when you stop. The body begins to gather itself. The mind begins to sort what it could not sort while everything was happening. The feeling begins to lose some of its sharp edge. You do not need to know exactly what is being restored. Trust the quiet work. You are allowed to disappear from the demands of the day for a while. You are allowed to become unreachable to every problem. You are allowed to belong to the night. There is no need to carry your name, your role, your work, or the expectations around you into every moment. For now, you are simply alive, simply breathing, simply resting. The world does not need a perfect version of you right now. It can wait. You do not have to plan the first moment of tomorrow. Morning will arrive. You will meet it then. You do not have to decide how you will feel. You do not have to promise to be stronger. You do not have to promise to finish everything. Let tomorrow remain open. A new day should not begin as another demand before it arrives. Let it be unknown. Unknown does not have to mean dangerous. Unknown can mean unfinished. It can mean possible. It can mean there is still room for life to move. Tonight, you do not need to fill that room. Rest beside it. Today may have been heavier than you expected. It may have taken more from you than you wanted to give. It may have shown you tiredness you could no longer hide. But you do not have to carry its full weight into tomorrow. Let this night hold you with gentleness. Let it carry the part of you that is too tired to keep walking. Let it receive the questions. Let it soften the edges of the memory. Let it place a quiet space between today and what comes next. You have done enough. You have thought enough. You have carried enough. Nothing more is needed now. You can stop asking whether you deserve rest. You are tired. That is enough. You can stop asking whether the problem is fully solved. It is not required. You can stop asking whether you have released everything. You do not have to release everything. Only stop picking it up again for this moment. Let the hands remain empty. Let the shoulders receive support. Let the face become soft. Let the tired heart know that it has reached a safe ending. This day cannot follow you unless the mind keeps opening the door. You can close it gently, not with anger, not by pretending nothing happened, with a simple truth. Enough for today. The door can remain closed until morning. What belongs to tomorrow will wait there. You do not need to guard it. The night knows how to carry hours. The body knows how to receive rest. The heart knows how to become quieter when it is no longer being forced. Trust these simple forms of wisdom. You may still hear the day in the distance. Let it become distant. You may still feel the weight. Let the bed carry more of it. You may still have fear. Let fear exist without becoming the leader. You do not need to arrive at perfect peace. You only need to stop moving farther away from it. You have turned toward gentleness. That is enough. You have allowed the night to come near. That is enough. You have stopped carrying the day alone. That is enough. The day has released you now. The work is finished for this hour. The questions are resting. The future is waiting outside the room. You are safe to become still. You are safe to be unfinished. You are safe to let this night carry you home.